So, I'm gonna wait to get some more people in here, but today I wanted to talk about the fact that black men on social media, in my opinion, are causing the uptick in black femicide specifically. And I think that, when things happen as far as black women losing their lives, that oftentimes, hey, how you doing, Jaleesa? Oftentimes we act like we don't know why these things are happening or if we can look at any causation. But I really do believe that black men specifically that are very active on social media are a main force, a main reason, a main driving force of the increase in black femicide. And I'd like to have a discussion about that. And I really do believe that if we can stop a lot of the black men that are on social media, that are extremely aggressive and violent in their words, their actions, their behaviors towards black women, publicly degrading black women, almost essentially publicly lynching black women online. I really do believe that some black femicide would go down. And I don't think that because black women are not a protected group and because no one cares about the safety and well-being of black women that these things are able to go on, because honestly speaking, if black men were saying the things that they do about black women about white women or other races of women publicly, it would never be never would it be allowed. Black men would have already been officially silenced. Their channels would be taken down, their videos would be reported. They would be told that this is not something that we're going to allow you to do as a collective. And when you think about all of the red pill content creators that constantly refer to black women as the B word, as something that rhymes with boars, 304s, Lutz, and all of these things, when you hear black men specifically only address black women in a negative way, say that black women are the worst of the worst, everything about them is bad, they're ugly, they're mean, they're nasty, they are a plague on society, they're not good mothers, they're not good people, they're not good workers. When you constantly say these things publicly, I truly do believe that that is what is causing a lot of black women to lose their lives, and so quickly for people to feel like they can just do it. And what is even more unfortunate is that the older generation of men, and just going to consider older, even though I don't think that you're old, but I'm just saying 30 years and above, I really do believe that a lot of black men that are 30 years old and up are extremely hateful, extremely bitter that they are older men and they didn't get the success that they want. They cannot have access to, y'all said the live is skipping. The only thing that I can do, you guys, is just for you guys to keep liking the live. Let me see who's in here real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say for now. If you guys could just keep liking the live, and hopefully that will, combat the skipping. But yeah, what I wanted to say is that I really do believe that a lot of the older men, 30 years and up, 30s, 40s, 50s, are very upset at the way their lives had turned out. And they thought that they were going to be these bajillionaires and have all of these women at their feet. And now, because comparison is a thief of joy, they can go online and see all of these beautiful women of all races and realize that they're not going to have access to these women. And then you have black women that are also attractive or educated saying publicly that they won't settle for less. They don't want to be with these men and all of that. And that is causing these men to go and slander black women and making it almost pop culture to abuse and bash black women. Because I have read 3 incidences of boys that were age 16 to 20 that have unalived black girls. There is I think she's 16 and the boy is 17. Apparently, this black boy was abusing the 16-year-old girl. They were in a relationship. He apparently came to her house and put his hands on her there in front of her dad. They get into it. The 17-year-old boy pew-pews the girl and pew-pews her father, multiple times. The father does not survive, but the girl does. When you think about it, at 17 years old, you're filled with that much hate and rage and that much disdain for women that you would beat on a teenage girl that's a teenager just like you, and take it so far as that you would pew-pew her father and her. That's coming from somewhere. And I don't really want to hear this stuff about, oh, it's just all black men are inherently this and that. That's not true, because all of these men are doing these things, but we have to think about in the black community what is causing it for us. And in my opinion, a lot of the reason why that black femicide is increasing is because of the degradation of the black woman and the black girl in public spaces. All right, let me say, hey, how you doing, Ash? Hey, how you doing, Tam? And absolutely you can. Gabrielle, did you have anything to say, sis?
Yeah, thank you. I definitely wanted to weigh in on this because I have kind of multi-layered thoughts on this. I think that the answer to the prompt is, I think it's because, well, a lot of it, okay, so starting off how they're raised, and I know in your lives, you've definitely covered this before, but so many males, in my opinion, do seem to be raised with this idea that literally just because they are males, that they're supposed to have, like you said, women at their feet, a bajillion dollars, the high lifestyle or whatever it is. And it's I think when they grow up and see that, no, in order to get that, you have to actually put some work in order to date, you have to actually, be attractive and bring something to the table. You can't just have your, male stuff down there and that's it. And I just think it causes, I don't know, some kind of cognitive dissonance for them. It's they can't put two and two together. And I think that's a huge part of it. I think another part of it is that, I guess in the US, as the economy is getting worse, a lot of males are taking out their frustration on women. And then when you combine that with just I guess the broader climate in the US with the way, political, I'm really not trying to get political, but just a lot of the way the political people in power are talking about women, and then you combine that with the red pill, I just think it kind of makes the perfect storm. And so it's males so often, instead of doing the work on themselves to actually improve and be better and actually become desirable and have something to offer women, they just want to lash out. And I think that they choose to do that to the women who are closest to them. I mean, I can't tell you how much I go online, I see males saying stuff oh, women shouldn't work because women are taking all the jobs from men. It's no matter how many problems males have, so often, obviously not every single one, but a lot of them will blame women. So it's if they can't, get laid or whatever, they'll say, oh, it's because women have too high standards. If they can't cut it in the job market, they'll say, oh, well, if women weren't in the job market, then, I would have a job. It's just constant. It's just constant misogyny from them. And I really do think, like you said, so many of them grew up believing that they were just supposed to, I don't know, just have the world laid at their feet. They grew up seeing their moms and their sisters in the kitchen, bringing them a plate at dinner, and just getting up and getting to walk away from the kitchen, have the women pick up after them. And it's they get in the real world, they see that they actually have to work for stuff and they just don't want to do it. And then the red pill kind of feeds the violence. Is just kind of I don't know, a vicious cycle. But I do think it's really unfortunate, and I unfortunately don't see it changing. But I do think, adding on top of that, just the broader climate in the US, like I said, the way things are going, the way that leaders in power are speaking about women and covertly but not so covertly making certain statements, I think all of that feeds into it for sure, unfortunately.
All right. I got you, Gabrielle. I mean, I definitely think that what Gabrielle said definitely had merit as well. I do. I think all of these things plays a part. I just the only reason why I kind of mentioned like social media was just because I do think that for a lot of the new stuff, and especially with the younger guys, these boys, like I don't know if y'all remember, there was a 14-year-old boy. I think he was Hispanic though, a white Hispanic. The girl was 13, if I'm not mistaken. She broke up with him, and he got mad and broke into her house and unalived her and made the brother like put her body underneath the bed or something. Uh, and when you think about that lack of or that lack of sanity, and also the idea that she doesn't have the right to tell you she doesn't want to talk to you anymore. I really do think that the way the misogynistic and red pill ideology is almost pushed to be like almost a mainstream thought is really the reason why a lot of these young boys are crashing out, because they are deeply affected by the things they see on social media. I mean, and there's been plenty of studies about this. It's not like, excuse me, I'm pulling this out of my butt or anything. Like there have been plenty of studies about how deeply red pill ideology is affecting young boys. I think it's from the age of like, I want to say 11 or 12 and up, but it could be even as early as 10. I'll look it up though. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, I definitely do think social media is a part of it. I think like today, like kids have phones younger. Like I don't like, so like I'm 28, but I don't think I got my first phone until I was like, I don't know, maybe 15, 16. But I think nowadays kids have phones when they're like 10 or 11. And so and then there was also, I'm sure you've probably already seen it, but there was also some study that showed that like when a male child goes on, any like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, within minutes, they like the algorithm will just like automatically start feeding them this stuff. So even if they aren't like as kids actively looking for it, they go down that pipeline pretty quickly and they internalize it. And then the end result of it is them, unaliving a girl because she committed the supposed sin of like not wanting to talk to him. It's like they really are being told that oh, you're entitled to have a girl's attention, like she owes you this, like this is what it means to be a man. It's like they're hearing this at like 12, 13, 14. And unfortunately, like I don't think that boys who are like doing this kind of stuff can be rehabilitated. Like I really don't. I know some people are going to disagree. They're going to say like, oh, it's a kid, their brain is still developing. It's like, no, I don't care. I just think when it comes to this red pill stuff, I think it's so dangerous. And I think, as you just said, younger and younger boys who are doing this. And it's like, how old was the boy you said who unalived the girl and her father? You said he was like 17 or how old? I forgot.
17. Yep,
Yeah.
17.
Okay. So yeah. If he's capable of that at 17, what is he going to do when he has a fully formed prefrontal cortex? Like, I really do think that, and this might be radical. This is probably my most radical view, but I really think that any male who is like in the red pill pipeline needs to be like removed from society. I think that they are inherently dangerous, and I don't think that girls should be the sacrificial lambs. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think it's really unfortunate. And I mean, even on social media, like I'm seeing like world leaders like across the globe, like in the UK and stuff, like actively talking about the manosphere. And there's like more mainstream articles coming out about it. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know that opinion is probably radical, but I don't think, I think once once a male gets infected with the red pill virus, I just don't think you can really pull it out of him, unfortunately. Especially, like you said, the boy was 17 and he did that, and nothing inside of him stopped him. He couldn't just like walk away or even say like, oh, forget you, and then just like leave. Like he had to, like his instinct was to be violent at 17. Like that's a huge problem.
All right, all right. I got you, Gabrielle. I mean, I definitely agree. Deja, the BM stands for black men, black males. Okay, let me go next up here to Tam Tams. Go ahead, Tam Tams.
Hey, you're triggered.
Hey.
Okay, so I'm gonna respond to the words on your screen, on my screen. And this is to let you, Gabriel, the women, specifically black women, know where I stand on this. And also to hopefully provide some sort of relief or a sense of, I would say, remedy. Let me tell you, I'm being real. If I'm ever in public or anywhere where my life or the life of a specifically black woman is in danger and being threatened by specifically a black man, but any man, that life is going to end by my hands. So you heard me say it. I won't repeat it. I mean it. You can bet that. That's all I came to say. That's how I'm going to respond to it.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right. Okay, cool.
TGP. I see you in the comments. You said y'all are miserable. I would venture to say that the person that would be miserable would be you, because why would you comment? If that's how you feel, why didn't you keep scrolling? Why did you have to say something? And like, I really do believe that a lot of y'all are the misery that you want to project onto black women is actually residing inside of yourself. Because if it wasn't, you would have never felt the need to comment, you know? But I'm gonna block you though. I'm not even gonna go back and forth with you because it's a waste of time to go back and forth with a lot of you pookies. Y'all don't even read books. So what do I look like debating with somebody that has the reading level of a third grader? Bye-bye, sir. Have a great day. Not today, sir. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? It's like you couldn't even be on that show. What is it? What was it? Are you smarter than a fifth grader or something? You couldn't even, you don't even know what they know. So why would I have a go back and forth with you? I'm not going to do it. Okay, so let me go next up here to Ananzi. Go ahead, Ananzi.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
really I'm really just confused. Like, why do you think that black men on social media are causing the uptick in femicide?
Okay. I think I don't know when you came in, but we were specifically talking about first of all, there's been an uptick statistically in violence against not only black women but also black men since roughly around the 80s and 90s, like a high surge. And even more frequently here in the 2000s, there has been a massive increase in violence against black women. And black women are the most unalived group of women here in the United States. So, in my opinion, I think it has a lot to do with black men on social media, specifically black men that feed into red pill ideologies or just all around misogynistic ideologies. The black men that have these spaces where they talk about black women, being single mothers, being bad people, being ugly, being undesirable, being worthless. And that's the only thing that you ever hear them say. And the only time you hear them say anything positive about any group of women is other races of women. And that's only them praising how easily they feel like they're able to take advantage of these other groups of women. When you publicly degrade a group of women, which black men have been doing for a long time, not only now it's been on social media, before it was just in, TV, movies, music specifically, with black men being the only race of man that has created a entire genre of music to degrade and dehumanize the women that are part of the community. I think that all of those things now is reached the boiling point of where black men and black boys don't think that there is any worth or value to the life of a black woman or a black girl, which is why, like, I think it's like this past week, I've heard at least 5 incidents of young men, 15, or we could just say boys, ages 15 to like 17, that have unalived black girls in the process of them already actively abusing them. And they're upset that these young women don't want to be, or young girls don't want to be abused any longer. So I think that's what I mean by that, just in case you needed to know. So did you want to answer the prompt now?
Well, yes, because like
Okay.
you started with going back to the 80s. I would like to point out that intimate partner homicides fell dramatically during the 90s. And during the 80s, ironically enough, black men had the highest victimization rate of intimate partner homicide. It's actually a very huge thing in criminology. Everybody's trying to figure out why like black men are the only demographic of males to have higher per capita rates of intimate partner homicide than their cohort of women.
That is a complete and utter lie. I just
Well,
want you to know that black women, and I'm not gonna let you lie. I'm gonna cut in because I'm not gonna let you lie. Let's be clear here. Men commit the majority of all violent acts, right? The majority of all.
don't disagree with that.
Please don't. The majority of all violent acts, the majority of all violent crimes, the majority of all crime in general. So to make it like black men were in some type of position of being unalived at a high rate by black women is a complete and utter lie. And this is exactly why I really don't like debating with y'all a lot of times, because when y'all don't have a leg to stand on about the things that I'm telling you, which I just pulled on my laptop right now so that I can read the proper points that this man just sat there and lied about. But I really do think it's absolutely disgusting to do that when you know that black women are 3 to 6 times more likely to be unalived by a black man than a white T woman is to be unalived by a white T man. Okay, but I just can't even believe that.
Also,
Let me
to the man on the panel, I'm gonna respond before you continue with the lies. I'm gonna respond. It's people up here. No, it's several people up here. Are we able to have a conversation? You're triggered, or is it just you one on one?
Y'all cut me off. So are we?
You can get cut off.
Okay. So first of all, let me say something to you, Anansi. I'm the host, right? I don't know you from a can of paint, right?
Right.
So you don't come in somebody's house and tell them how to do what they're doing in their own house, right? I wouldn't come in your house and look behind your toilet and say, hey, it's not clean back there. You need to take care of that because, hey, that's not my home. So if I told you that I'm going to interject to debunk something that you said, which was grossly incorrect and an out and out blatant, flagrant lie, then that's what I'm going to do. And there's another black woman on here. Control yourself.
Oh, goodness.
Have some control and some emotional regulation. Now, Tam, another black woman. Once again, this is always going to be black women first over here. She had something to say, and I'm going to let her do that. And if you don't like the way it's run that way, you are more than welcome to click that X in the box and drop. And we'll continue on with the conversation that we were having before you entered, because you already came in here on bad faith and lies. So go ahead, Tam.
Thank you. And thank you for correcting the misinformation and also stating the facts. I would like to also say that in response, if he emotionally feels like BM men or black men are, I guess, experiencing higher rates of unalivement, I'm going to say that's a personal problem. You're men, you're black men at that. And who's unaliving you? Because it ain't black women. And if it's other men, do something about it. Quit crying to black women. And let me just clarify, because I think I could have been a little bit more clear with my initial response. If a black man, specifically a black man, is causing threat to a black woman's life and or putting a black woman and children in danger in public while I'm present, that black woman and black child, them children, life in danger, that black man life is going to end by my hands, personally, just to be clear on what I said initially. That's all.
Okay, all right. So let me just say this, and I just wanted to read this for anybody that is interested in like facts, okay? So according to the historical and localized demographic data from the FBI Crime Data Explorer, 90% and up of all identified, I don't know if I could say the H word, so I'll just say unaliving offenders in the United States are male. So I just want y'all to know that male, okay? And the disproportionate rate of offending among black men compared to black women mirrors broader national trends across all racial groups where men commit the vast majority of violent crimes, which means, if people doesn't know, and you can go to FBI.gov for this information, which means that just like I just said, that 90% of all unaliving offenders or more Are males that same disproportionate rate mirrors that also the same in the black community? Now, I want to say this. Let me read you something else, and you can get this from the Violence Policy Center. While black men have higher rates of homicide perpetration, which means they're the ones that are doing it, right? Black women in the United States disproportionately experience homicide victimization. Okay, reports from the Violence Policy Center indicate that black women face the highest rates of homicide victimization by males in the country and are most often killed by an intimate partner or someone that they know, typically with a firearm. So I really need y'all to stop with the lies, stop with the games. If you're a black man, the most person that you're going to be most likely to be put in the ground by is another black man. That's the reason why there is such a disproportionate rate of firearm unalivings at the hands of black men perpetrated by another black man. So much so that there have been several health professionals that want to call it an epidemic. So I really need y'all to stop with the games and stop with the lies. You never were and are not currently never were at risk for being unalived at a high rate by black women. This isn't to say that there aren't any black women that have perpetrated crimes against black men or have unalived them, but that is not happening. It's only happening in a small, itty bitsy bit percentage of black women. And I think that we can see by the way that the behavior that black men have, the things that they say, the way that they behave, that they're not afraid of black women. They're not scared of black women. They don't think that a black woman is going to put them in the dirt or put them on the ground or take them out of here, because y'all have the biggest mouth and the most disrespectful mouths out of everybody. So I think if y'all really thought that black women were really on that, y'all wouldn't even act the way that y'all act. And once again, beyond that, I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to talk about facts. And facts don't care about your feelings. And there are no stats, no data anywhere, nor have there ever been, that black men were more at risk of being unalived at the hands of a black woman than at the hands of somebody that looks like them. And not by a little bit either. So please stop lying. But now that I've got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and put Mr. Anansi on the timer. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, sir, to be fair, and you can go ahead.
Right. So, okay, let's be clear. I never said black men were more likely to be unalived by a black woman than another, like somebody else, like a black man. I'm specifically speaking to your claim about the 1980s and intimate partner homicide, not homicide in general. Intimate partner homicide, which femicide is a major part of, right? The FBI Supplementary Homicide Report, which was introduced in 1976, makes this pretty clear. Also, so the FBI Supplementary Homicide Report from 1976 to 1985 states this. CDC data from 1981 to 1998 states this. This precipitous fall in intimate partner homicide is largely preceded by the Violence Against Women Act in 1994, which was part of the 1994 crime bill. Like, this led to a fall in intimate partner homicides across the board. The most precipitous fall was amongst black males because they had the highest rate. This is true. I'm not making this up. I just gave you the sources. FBI Supplementary Homicide Report, 1976 to 1985. CDC data, 1981 to 1998. Right?
Why are we talking about data from the 1980s?
Well, because you made a claim about.
What did you say to back?
You made a claim about the 1980s. You said that ever since then, like ever
no,
since
what I said was, and I'm sorry, and I should have said this. And I'm giving you information as well. You can go to Carnegie Hall for this. It says, while the emergence of gangster rap in the late 1980s and early 1990s coincided with a period of elevated violent crime in inner city black communities, criminologists and sociologists identify entirely different socioeconomic drivers for crime trends. So what I'm saying is, even though I will say that we can't necessarily prove that gangster rap had a definite reason why crime increased, not only against black women, but black children and black men around that time, I think we can kind of logically come to some type of conclusion that all of these things happen around that exact time. But that's not something that I can necessarily prove. But the stuff that you said about the intimate partner violence was completely wrong and inaccurate. But you can go ahead.
If it's wrong, then you can just look up the data I gave you and it'll tell you that I'm wrong, right? If black men had lower rates of intimate partner homicide during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, this can be
no.
proven
What
wrong.
I said to you
No,
is this.
you said I'm wrong.
No.
I'm wrong.
Yes, I said you're wrong
Okay,
because
if you're
you
not,
tried
if
to,
I'm wrong, then
please
why
don't
are
cut
you
me off.
arguing with the
What
data?
I said is that you tried to make it seem like, because you heard us talking about black femicide, that there was a time that black men were at risk in the way that women, or more specifically, black women have been. I said that even if there were any times that black men were ever having any type of increased incidents of violence against them by black women, it was only ever a small, bite-sized, itty bitty portion, regardless on how you want to look at it. Because
What do you mean?
generally speaking, globally, historically, even back then, 90
So
to
why are you moving the
95% of
goalposts?
all violent crimes and unalivings were always committed and always done by men. So you can never try to spin it like black men were in danger as a
Right.
collective, because
So
it's
let me
not
ask you a
true.
question. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what positivism is?
Let me tell you something.
Ma'am, can you just say
Your
yes or
time
no?
is up.
All right, bitch, you dumb black ass
Oh,
nigga,
Cole,
bitch. Shut
shut
up,
your
you
goofy
dick
ass
sucker.
up. You're exactly like I thought. And you see what I'm saying? If you notice that these are the men that don't have any emotional regulation. Now, you notice that what he wanted to do is, Chief first tried to come up here and he tried to say like, oh, and this is exactly why I say some of them, no, I dropped him. Yeah, his veil dropped. Exactly. And this is why I don't really respect him. Because if you notice, I really feel like anytime black women discuss black femicide, there'll always be black men that will come up and somehow try to spin it that they're the victim. Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, you're talking about all of these girls that lost their lives. But what about that one random black woman in 1995 that unalived her man for cheating? Like what? And the crazy thing about it is that when you listen to things like this, you can tell that these men have no empathy. Black men have a severe problem with being held accountable. If you try to hold them accountable, and it's not like I said you're doing it, but in attempting to hold black men accountable in any way, automatically is met with violence, or it's met with gaslighting, or it's met with them telling you, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or they degrade to the point of calling you a black bitch. And I really think it's crazy for a black man to call somebody a black bitch. Like, I always think about, I can't say the R word, but discriminatory white people when people use the term black bitch. So I always thought that was like very weird when black men want to use slurs and terminology that they got from white people. That's always so weird. But I'm gonna tell you something. Everything about what he said was wrong. Wrong. And my thing is that he asked me, what do I know anything about positivism? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And just in case anybody wants to know what it is it's a philosophical system. Okay. And what it does is it asserts that all genuine knowledge is based on an observable, measurable sensory experience, logic, and mathematics. So if I believed in positivism, then what I was saying was right anyway, because what I just said is based on logic and mathematics, which in my opinion, mathematics would include stats. So it's like you got these black men that learned a word from their grandma or somebody and then don't even know what they're talking about when they say it to you. But like I said before, I think the most disgusting part that I find about these black men is that you're born, you're living here. So I know you have a mother. I know you have a black mother, and you don't care about black femicide. You want to ignore it and act like it's not a problem. Like, and I feel like black men are so used to comparing themselves to black women, because if you notice when you ever talk to black men, like let's say a black man tried to holler at you or something, and you was like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to talk to you. He like, oh, why you don't want to talk to me? You ain't got more money than me. Look at what you got. Let's compare money. Why in the world are you as a man trying to compare pockets with a woman? Or if you notice any stat, anything that's going on, black men automatically want to compare themselves to you. They never compare themselves to other men. When they want to match pockets, they not matching pockets with other men. When they want to match statistics about crimes and criminal behavior, they never want to match stats with other men or other groups of men. They only ever want to try to find some way to compare themselves to a woman. And I think that is very weird and distasteful. But nonetheless, like you see a man like that was so quick to be violent. These are the men that have been infected, just like Gabrielle was saying, by like I would say like red pill ideology and just extreme violence and anger and aggression against black women. You know what I'm saying? And those are the men that will put you in the ground. And that is exactly why, in my opinion, if you are a black woman, you must arm yourself. Now, if you're in an area where you can have a pew pew, like I'm in a place where you can easily have a pew pew. I have several. Okay. I never go anywhere without it, or at least one of them. And I really do believe that if you're a black woman, you must do this. Now, if you're somewhere where you can't, then you need to make sure that you have the spray. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to use the words, but the spray or something else. But you must make sure that you have something to protect yourself and defend yourself, because these men are very violent and very angry and very aggressive for no reason other than the fact that they are upset at their own failures. They're upset that they're a loser. They're upset that they cannot get the women that they want and desire. And they're also upset that a lot of black women have decided to stop manning. They've decided to stop protecting black men and acting like black men are perfect while they undergo all of this mistreatment and trauma behind the scenes. Because I'm going to tell you, I watched a video from the 1960s of black women being interviewed. And there was a black woman, she had a scarf on. She said, "Oh, I love my black men. I love everything about them. The way he beats me is beautiful. The way he looks is beautiful." What do you mean the way he beats you is beautiful? This is what I'm saying. They used to have women access to women like that. And now there are not women. There are a lot of women. There are still women like that around, okay? But there are a lot of women that are not. And like somebody like Trent that says you sound very upset. I notice also, and then I'm gonna let y'all speak, that men will try to say that you sound emotional or you sound upset when you don't. It's just a way to try to take away from what you're saying. Because nothing that I said sounds upset. Nothing that I said sounds hurt. Nothing that I said sounds emotional. I've literally told you things that you could easily look up and fact check yourself. But once again, they don't have an excuse. They can't say, "Hey, we're not the number one alivers of you. We're not the number one alivers of ourselves." They can't tell you that that's not true because it's true. So the only thing they can do is attack you and try to shame you into silence. And that don't work here, because I have to respect you to even respect what you're saying. And I don't respect 99% of y'all. Okay? Go ahead, Tam. Did you have something to say, sis?
Yeah, I went and looked up positive. What is it called? Positivism.
Yes.
Is it positivism?
Yes, ma'am.
It's you can tell it's not even a word I use on a day-to-day basis, because I'm educated. I use big words all the time, but this one, after reading about it, just doesn't mean anything to me, and I won't be using this word going forward. But I did read that this method of coming to truth is flawed. Okay, so it is known that this is a flawed method that some people, and probably not even most black people, know of or use. So he was just way off anyway. And that a philosopher in the late 1700s, early 1500s came up with this, while the dang concept of it rejects philosophy. So it's self-contradictory, and it just tries to use the scientific method to come to truth, which is the standard today. And that's just, we don't have to say that. Like, it's just being done. All the statistics that you talked about, those studies, those universities, those higher institutions, they attempted to use scientific method in order to find those numbers, give those statistics. So it just was irrelevant for him to bring it up. I was just, I was just reaffirming what you had initially said about it and just adding a little bit more. He said you sound upset. I was going to say what I hear is passion, right? There's, you ever hear like a professor or a speaker, a public speaker, those motivational speakers, that's how you sound to me. You don't sound upset at all. You know what I mean? And it's just like they hear what they want, they feel what they want, they say what they want. And it even if it's absolutely just baseless, factless, and just out of pocket, like it has nothing to do with the fucking conversation. And they're fucking annoying. I wanted to say though, There is a couple of things that I saw recently on being advertised. Not the spray, not the shocker, the one that electrifies, but it was almost like a pocket torch, if I can say that. And I mean, I don't even know how many degrees hot they said that thing goes. I thought that was a really cool tool to have now for women to have, for protection. So I'm just putting that out there like a little pocket torch. I mean, as soon as you turn that mug on, it is third degree or worse. That's what's going to happen to them. So I like that. And I'm just really enjoying, or I appreciate you talking about this. I'm lucky enough that I'm not in a place where I'm surrounded by them anymore. I'm still vigilant. Like, I'm still always aware of my surroundings, and I'm still always prepared. I carry too. I concur with you. I would also recommend that women go and practice, go to the range, go outdoors if you can, to some areas where you can practice together. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm here to support you. You're triggered, and just, add to the conversation when and where I can.
All right,
And
I got you. I
yeah.
got you, sis. I definitely appreciate you. I did want to say this too, because I forgot to say. If anybody didn't know this, but Black femicide is at crisis levels. Okay, and this is according to Google. It says, while overall homicide rates have fluctuated, violence against Black women and girls has spiked alarmingly in recent years, with Black women nearly 3 times more likely to be unalived than white women. Most are unalived by an intimate partner, and firearms are the leading weapon. Okay. And even though Black women make up roughly 14% of the U.S. female population, they make up for the majority of women unalived by men. When you compare the other races together, of course, the other races of women are being unalived by the men in their communities as well. I'm just saying that Black women are unalived the most out of all races of women. Okay. Also, I wanted to say that it's a persistent problem. It says here that researchers, this is according to an article that was in The Guardian, researchers and advocates note that the femicide rate for Black women has remained persistently high and under-discussed for decades, with a sharp 33% increase in unaliving rates of Black women and girls during the pandemic. Okay, and it says in over 90% of cases, Black women and girls are unalived by someone that they know, often a partner or a family member. So a lot of times the people that you trust the most, I just saw an article of a woman, she was 24. She was pew-pewed in the chest by her 14-year-old brother, because her 14-year-old brother was having an argument with his 15-year-old brother about why he wasn't getting enough birthday presents. They're going back and forth, and I guess the older sister tried to intervene, and the 14-year-old boy had told her that he would unalive her. And he would unalive her kids, which was there. And he ended up pew-pewing his sister in the chest. And then the 15-year-old brother had to pew-pew the 14-year-old brother. But I think he survived, if I'm not mistaken. So this is what I'm saying, is that there's no place where you may be, you could possibly be taken out by your brothers. There's so many articles that I have read over the past 2 months of women that have been unalived by their brothers, and also mothers that have been unalived by their sons. So just because she did pass away. So just because you say, okay, well, I'm not going to deal with men, or I'm not going to do that, you have to be careful of all of these men, because most of the time it is somebody that you know that's taking you out of here. So I just wanted to say that. So these things that these men come up here and say, like, I just don't understand the purpose of arguing with somebody that is highly educated, number one, and number two, highly educated on what they're talking about. I don't feel like I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I have done extensive research on Black femicide, and not to mention, I have done extensive and intensive research on femicide when it comes to other groups and demographics of women across the globe as well, just so that I can compare these acts of violence to Black American women specifically and find some type of causal correlation or what the heck is going on. Now, so I don't know, but Black men, the only on the only time that I'm able to have a discussion, randomly it'll be a couple black men, and this hasn't happened for a while now, that have some sense and understand what I'm saying, and they don't try to make it like I'm not telling the truth, or try to make excuses, or try to play the victims like they're going outside, and when they see a group of black women and they got bonnets on, they're afraid for their lives. They think they're going to get cussed out and attacked and used and abused and beat. They don't believe that. They don't feel that way. And most of the time, there's only a couple black men. But any other time, the black men will come up and they'll do one of few things. Oh, you're angry. Oh, you sound hurt. Or they'll try to debunk me with lies, because that's exactly what the man that was up here did. And then once they realize that they can't get me, then they degenerate into, oh, you bitch. You bitch. You black this, you black that, you black. Okay, aren't you black too, Negro? So, in what world is being insult black when you are black yourself? I don't, it just doesn't make no sense. And the fact that y'all are still reporting me is really, really, really ridiculous. Like, y'all reported me, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been reported for. I've been reported for body exposure and sexualized behavior, body exposure and sexualized behaviors, and also, sending people off of the platform to somewhere else. So y'all still in here reporting. And if you really cared about black women, if you weren't a soulless, demonic individual, why is me talking about black femicide so triggering for you? Why is me talking about black men that are on social media that are degrading black women every day and making it seem like our lives are worthless, are causing more people to feel comfortable with taking our lives because they think what y'all say is true, that we're worthless? Why is that triggering for you that you want to report the live? I'll tell you why it's triggering, because you hate black women too. You would probably unalive a black woman too if you could and you didn't want to go to jail. That's the problem. And that's the reason why black men and black women would never get anywhere on any type of common ground as a collective, is because of that. Y'all view accountability as violence. Y'all view black women expressing their real experiences and what they've gone through as an attack on you. And that is why y'all will never get anywhere. And that is the reason why y'all have been stagnant since the civil rights times. And because y'all have officially alienated black women from being next to you. And that is the reason why, because y'all by yourselves, y'all can't do anything. And that's the reason why y'all at the bottom. The least employed for the labor participation rate, right? You make the most single mothers, regardless of what race they are, the most incarcerated, the least educated. You know what I'm saying? The most violent to the women in your community. These are the reasons why you will always lead in the most poor statistics. Because you refuse to take accountability and look at anything. And even if it's not you, you take it like I'm talking to you. Instead of saying, let me take that to my brother and tell him, and maybe I can help him and do better. Like I said, y'all are disappointing. And I don't even want to say disappointing, because y'all have called me so many bitches, black bitches, 304s, all type of names. Y'all have sent me death threats. Y'all have talked to me about raping me. Some of y'all have, when my husband used to be up here on the panel, y'all DM him. Y'all say crazy things. Y'all do a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not surprised by nothing that y'all say, because I really do think that the majority of y'all is something wrong. For real. But anywho, I think Gabrielle has something to say, and then I'll go up to Miss Tam Tam.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I thought it was interesting that the guy who was on the panel, I guess 20 minutes ago, he didn't even technically address the prompt, because the prompt is about social media and femicide, and he's like right out of the gate start talking about, oh, what did you know about the 1980s and 1990s? And it's like, I thought that was interesting, because he did not talk about Red Pill. He didn't talk about the rise of violence against, the rise of violence perpetrated by boys who are, like 15, 16, 17. And in some stories I've read, like even 14 or younger. He didn't address any of that. And it's because, like, he doesn't care. Like, he potentially could be a perpetrator. He could potentially be friends with a perpetrator. And then the way he lashed out against Tam Tam the moment, I mean, she just said your time is up, and that like small sentence was enough for him to just like completely go off the rails. It's like, this is the thing I'm talking about. This is why I've said in so many of your other lives, when they have issues with, you know, the law or whatever, it's like, I don't care, because this is how they conduct themselves. And his stats weren't even right, but he couldn't even just stick to the prompt. He couldn't even just concede that, yes, there is an issue with red pill. Yes, there is an issue with rising violence against women. He didn't address any of the stats he laid out, and they don't care. And this is, you know, what I'm talking about when it comes to them, you know, more often than not.
Yes, yes, and I definitely agree with you, Gabrielle. And I'm so sorry. I forgot to say this because, like I said, you guys, I always like to give stats. I don't think that I addressed what he said about black men in the 1980s being unalived by black women. So I want to give y'all this according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics.gov. Now, it says, yes, black men in the 1980s were occasionally unalived by black women, as lethal violence has historically been highly interracial, meaning victims and offenders are typically of the same race. However, black women were responsible for a very small fraction of the unalivings committed against black men, and the vast majority of perpetrators were black men. Also, just wanted to say this as well. Offender demographics, which this is from the National Institute of Health.gov. Within those intraracial incidents, the perpetrators were predominantly other black men, while black women did unalive black men frequently in the context of self-defense or intimate partner violence. They accounted for a minority of these unalivings. So once again, black women were a very small percentage of these unalivings, and when they did, frequently it was in the context of self-defense. So I have no idea what type of rocks he was smoking, but they must have been them Pookie from New Jack City rocks, because he was completely wrong. And that's the reason why I interjected, because I would have just let him talk, but you're not going to come up here and lie. But go ahead, Tam. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I'm listening. And it was a Caucasian male philosopher that came up with this positivism ideology at that. So it's like they just be all over the place. But I want to say I did do a quick search online, and I found unwomen.org does have some information up here that I can add. In 2024, every 10 minutes, a woman was unalived. This is so disturbing. So in 2024, 50,000 women and girls worldwide were unalived by their intimate partners and or family members, including fathers, mothers, uncles, brothers. That means on average, 137 women and girls were unalived every day that year. I mean, it's just sick. And this article says that, I'm going to read it quote verbatim. The latest report from the UN Office of Drugs and Crime and UN Women, released on the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. The report finds that the femicide shows no signs of slowing down. No signs of slowing down. Intimate partners and other family members were the perpetuators of 60% of the unalivings of women in 2024. So it had to be so bad in 2024 where it peaked so bad, and it's not any lower now. And 2 years later, it was so bad that, you know, small groups like UN Women, other, you know, groups were talking about it online, offline. Let me also read you this. According to unwomen.org, femicide is a universal problem. The true scale is likely much higher. There was something in here that I saw. I wanted to point out. I mean, I can come back to that, but let's see. I mean, this article specifically says it can and must be prevented. I mean, I don't necessarily know what to do with that, but the fact that we're talking about just simply learning self-defense, arming ourselves, and just being prepared to defend ourselves, and just really end the life of the person trying to end yours or mine. That's as much as my brain is going with it, because I'm like, no matter how much we come on TikTok and talk about it, we're not. I don't personally necessarily see people talking about it in public spaces where I go. I'm not out and about a lot because I work from home. But it doesn't matter as much as it's being talked about online, social media, or even within the groups, the families, the communities. It's like the men aren't getting it. It's like they're doubling down. It's like it's pissing them off more. They're becoming more and more angry and violent. So with that trend, I think I'm just gonna arm up, continue to build an arsenal, and train.
All right, I got you, Tam Tam. I mean, I would never discourage any black woman from being protected and protecting themselves, because at the end of the day, just like that 66-year-old woman was attacked by that black male in the MARTA train station, and he poked her to unaliving as she screamed and pleaded and begged for somebody to help her, and nobody did nothing. At the end of the day, the person that is most likely to save you is you. So you have to make sure that you're able to have some type of protection system in place for you, because unfortunately, when it comes to the lives of black women, no one really cares about the lives of black women. So, and that's how I feel even about a lot of the stories that I've heard of, like black femicide, like when like the girl that was, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was 20 and she had a 3-week-old baby, and she had left her boyfriend because he had been abusing her for years. And she had got a restraining order and called the police and all of this stuff. And he found her and poked her up and left her unalived in a car with their 3-week-old baby in a car. And they said that he had been terrorizing her for months. And I honestly, truly do believe that at some point, you have to become the predator and not the prey when you realize that somebody is going to keep it up. So at some point, it's a lot of things I would like to say, but I can't say here on TikTok. I wish I could, but I can't. So that's why a lot of stuff that Tam Tam has said, I know me and my platform, I can't really say too much publicly, but I'll just say that at some point, you've got to not just sit there and wait to be picked off by someone when you know they're not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? You know they'll do it. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all heard about the story. This happened, I think, a couple weeks ago. It was a black girl. She was pregnant. I think 8 or 9 months pregnant, 17 years old. Her boyfriend was 21. She had went out of town to do something, and he DoorDashed her or Ubered her some flowers. And the first time she got the flowers, she came out with a relative. So I guess he felt like he couldn't do nothing. The second time, he had DoorDashed her a vase. And when she came out, he pew-pewed her right in the head and left her right there outside the place unalived, and ended up getting caught like a few hours later. And it's just like the emotional regulation is so terrifying, because you're so emotionally unregulated. You're doing something everybody gonna know that it's you. You know what I'm saying? You're only 21. And what are you really doing? Now you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison being somebody's bottom bunk biatch and getting your pussy stretched out for what? For what? Because you, a girl that you've been beating on, doesn't want to be beat on anymore? Like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But the very quick degradation of the loss of control, just like that black man that was up here, Anansi, like you see how at first he came up here talking in that monotone voice, talking like, he was trying to talk about something. And then you see how quickly he got very violent and ignorant and angry with his words and addressing women. And that's another thing I want black women to understand is that I saw a video, and I have so many videos like this, but I can't post them nowhere. Maybe I'll start posting on my Patreon. But I got this video, right, of this black woman. Well, they're black girls. They look to be like 18 to me, 18, 19. So this man is in his bodega trying to talk to him. She says, I don't want to talk to you. He says, why not? Why not? Why not? She says, I don't want to talk to you. I'd have to tell you I don't want to talk to you. He says, why you talking to me in that tone? She said, because you're talking to me in that tone. I told you to leave me alone. He smacks the dog stank out of this girl. I'm talking about smacks her so hard. She's flabbergasted. Like, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. How could you smack me like that? He said, I don't care what you are, you stupid B. You don't talk crazy to me. Even though he's the one that approached her and was bothering her. The sooner you realize that society, and this doesn't just go for black men, but nobody looks at black women as women at all. People look at black women as objects and tools to be used. That's the same reason why you will have Asian people that will talk about Asian hate. We need our black people of color, black people to stick with us. And then turn around when you see this Rick Chow stuff, turn around and say the most hateful things about black women and black people. The same reason why you will see all of those Hispanics, white Hispanics and white Latinos talk about, let's stand together for ICE. We're brothers and sisters. We got to. Next thing you know, you tell them not to use the N-word. And now they telling you how you all of these N-words and they gonna call you an N-word and you better love it. Because at the end of the day, our humanity as black women is not respected. And I really want black women to deeply, deeply, deeply understand, dare I say, overstand that and realize there's no savior for you here on planet Earth. Now, if you believe in a creator, I do, then that's something different. But if you're looking for a human being to save you, to help you, to do anything, no, the power is only in your own hands. If something happens to you, somebody kidnap you, somebody do something to you, occasionally you might find somebody, just like that young black girl that got kidnapped. I think she was 17 by that white man that was pretending to be a police officer. That happened earlier. I think that happened last month. And she ran out into the highway and it was an older black man there. And he risked, something happened to him and took her. And the guy pulled up, the white man pulled up talking about, let me have her back. I'm an officer. He like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was a very good thing that elder black man did. And he protected her and saved her. But more than likely, you're going to be your own line of defense. So you got to figure out something that you got to do. And I would say that I'm not saying that there aren't any black women that participate in coonery, because there is. But if I could say there is a percentage, it is far, far more black men that engage in raccoonery, in my opinion.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Tam Tam.
No, I agree. And you see the purple in my profile picture. I put that there, I don't know, a couple of months ago to let people know that I stand with women against femicide, women and girls. And I'm not taking it down. And if I do change the profile picture, it's going to be purple in the background to remind people that I'm here, present and ready. But yeah, can you imagine? This is a universal problem. In 2024, Africa recorded their largest numbers. Asia and Europe, the numbers are slightly lower, but still a problem nevertheless. And can you imagine 137 women a day? There ain't even 137 hours in a day to keep up with that crap. What are they doing? That guy, that boy, and what I've noticed even on TikTok is that they become argumentative first. First, they become defensive. Then they become argumentative. And then when you present information that they just simply either can't digest or is triggering for them, or just highlights and points out the truth about who they are and what they're doing, after so much time and after arguing to no avail, then they get violent. So I've noticed just even on the last week, it's a progression, in their behavior. I think that some of them will, I guess, irrationally at some point or another, just initially begin with violence. But what I see on TikTok, because they're not face to face, that it's a slow progression. And then, of course, it's social media. And so they kind of do want to be liked. They do want to be followed. They do want to be heard. They do want to engage with women, interact with women. So they do cosplay, I would say, role play. They pretend, like you said, to be calm in their little monotone, disingenuous tone of voice. And then you can just listen to it. Like you can almost feel how they go from the pretendian, like I'm a calm, cool guy, to, well, I disagree with you, but I'm mad. And then the violence, the threats, the harmful words, and it's sick. It's sick. It's scary. I'll be honest with you. I don't trust anyone. I mean, I'm hanging on to my relations with Black women because I was surrounded by them my whole life. I grew up. The women in my family helped raise me, and I just haven't had any issues in public, school, jobs, or otherwise with Black women. So, I just don't feel unsafe around Black women for the most part. But everybody else, I don't trust them, and I think I have a right. I think rightfully so. Wouldn't you say? Like you brought up the Chow case, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, and then listening to the FBAs on the app, which I've heard are predominantly Black men, they just so angry and hateful and violent. And it's going to be to their demise. Because at the same time, while they're trying to, I guess, release some of this anger and hatred on Black women, the system not going to protect them. They don't have protection. If they're not protecting themselves or each other, don't nobody give a fuck about them either. For real, for real.
Oh, try not to cuss, Tam.
Sorry. I mean, people don't really care about them either unless they have a utility, a use. So, yeah, I'm with you.
All right. I got you. I agree with everything that you said. The only thing I would give pushback on is that I don't really see a difference from like FBA Black men as opposed to any of the other Black men across the diaspora. I think they're all hateful and angry. And I don't think necessarily being a foundational Black American makes you be angry or whatever. That's something I identify with being a Black American. But everything else, I definitely agree with you on. Let me go up here next to Brown Sugar. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
Hey, ladies. Sorry for joining late. I was knocked out. I definitely agree with, this prime. I really think that Black men are showing, are causing the uptick in femicide because of their approval. Whether they say it out loud or whether they, comment, on social media, they are showing that these Black men who do it, it's okay to harm Black women and children, and you're not going to face any backlash and controversial consequences from the community. And it's very interesting when something happens to a BOK man. All you see is through my timeline. All I see is lives. And I'm not taking it, or videos, people doing think pieces and all this other stuff of how he didn't deserve it. And my thing is, BOK women and girls are unaliving at alarming rates. I barely see anything. And that is why they are causing the uptick, because of their approval to it. It's just, it really makes me upset and angry with BOK men, because they pick and choose what they want to stand up for. And it really shows how selfish they are. That's why I was very shocked that you did a topic on this young man, because, they have no choice. They have choices to speak about BOK femicide, but when they do, they're always blaming the women. They never hold the men accountable. But when it comes to their own, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. And I'm not saying that the young man did do anything wrong, but they find so many excuses of why that young man shouldn't have been harmed. But for women, they don't have no grace. They don't have no heart, no compassion. She deserved it. And this signals to other men that in the community, like, hey, if I unalive this young woman, if I unalive this child right here, I'm not going to face any backlash. I'm not going to be shunned from the community. I'm going to be welcomed in with arms and gravy. Even if I do time, somebody going to help me. They're going to put money on my books. Some woman is going to probably put money on my books. I will survive this. So there is no consequences from the community as a whole. And We Okay Men are demonstrating that on social media. And I'll land there.
All right, I got you, brown sugar. Hey, and I wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying. What topic were you talking about that I talked about? I can't remember.
Oh, that live about the Cyrus young man.
Oh, yeah. Rick Chow. Yeah, you know what? It's difficult for me to disconnect from being black, and not looking at even slights against black men as against us as well as a community. So when I saw all of this like horrible disrespect against black people as a collective, like all of these Asian posts and things like that, it really just was really making me so upset that I actually took it personally because so many black women, patronize their establishments and stuff like that. I think that's really why. It was just so much that I saw. I was just like, bro, I felt personally, you know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely get you, Trig. That's why I was saying I was surprised because I know you don't normally do that. So I definitely knew that was a reason. I don't want to make it seem like I was disrespecting you or anything for doing
Oh,
that.
no. I understood what you were saying. I was just saying that I
Yeah.
just want you to know why. I was like, because that was just so, like, I can't tell you how much crazy stuff I saw. Like, it was really stuff out of pocket. But nonetheless, okay, so let me keep going. Next up, Darwin. You have something to say, sir?
Yeah, I was just listening, but I haven't really got a grasp on the conversation y'all was having. But I did see the prompt; it was very interesting.
Yes. Well, the topic that we were talking about, outside of just what you heard us talking about, was that black men on social media are responsible for causing the uptick in black femicide, specifically with the way that they degrade black women and make black women seem like they don't have any worth or value. Because if you publicly degrade your race of women, your group of women, and make everyone feel like they have no worth or value, it's easier for someone to take their life. And that goes with outside of the community and within the community. And there is definitely a correlation on to why black women have the highest rates of black femicide outside of everyone else.
So, is it safe to say that the problem is that black women validate her value or whatever it is that the black men are tearing down through social media and through the black men? And if she disconnects her validation from the black men within social media and use other means to solidify her self-esteem, she can become impenetrable.
No, that doesn't mean that at all. Because if black men collectively slander the name of black women by calling them mean, evil, nasty, responsible for all of the actions of black men, even grown black men who have their own decisions to make, blaming that on black women, single mothers, their mother, being put on child support when they were the ones out here having unprotected smacks and all of these other things, and saying that black women are the worst of the worst. They're hateful, they're miserable, they're ugly, they're this, they're that. They have no worth, they have no value. And black men are yelling that to everybody that will listen, even encouraging other races of men and women to join in and do the same, to devalue the black woman, which black men have been doing now for a while. Black men are the only race of men that created a genre of music to degrade the women in their community. Once you do that, that is the reason why so many people find it easy to unalive black women. That's the reason why black women make up 14% of the population of females here or women in the United States, yet they make up the bulk of the unalivings because of that, because of the devaluing that is done. So no, that's not something that Black women can stop from happening if they love themselves internally. That's something that Black men would have to stop doing.
Well, I'm saying the social media part. Now, if you're talking about entertainment, music videos, then I fundamentally believe I think the entertainment or the people you said the black men are degrading women in music videos and stuff. I think if she don't volunteer to be part of the music videos,
Well,
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
mean
hard to
music
degrade.
videos. I mean social media. So I mean men like yourself that have platforms where you regularly hold space for men to degrade Black women, to call them prostitutes and 304s and worthless and no good, and to attack their looks and to call them ugly and hurt them and break them down, and to let all the world see that you don't think that Black women are even worthy of respect. Then this is what happens when you do this on social media. Because then people look at that, all of these people, you never know who's watching you. They say, oh, you know what? I don't really have a lot of connection with Black women, but look at all these men saying this. They don't have any worth or value. So if I'm looking for somebody to hurt or harm, it's going to be a Black woman. That's exactly the reason why they have plenty of studies to look this up. You can look this up on your own time of when people traffic. The reason why Black women, once again, make up 14% of the population of women, yet they make up the highest rate of women being sex trafficked, kidnapped, forced into sexual servitude. And when they ask these men after they get caught, why did you choose Black women? Because they perceive they would get in less trouble because Black women don't have any value. Where would they get that from? They get that from Black men specifically. And a lot of times with now social media, there are so many Black men, like yourself included, that build their platforms on the back of misogyny, disrespect, red pill ideology, degradation of the Black woman, and just basically all around town saying that Black women don't have any worth or value. And that's the problem, because it's causing real life consequences for Black girls and Black women. They're being unalived. And a lot of it is y'all words that y'all are responsible for it. But
So basically you're saying all I gotta do is build a platform and tell a lie, and it will cause Black women to commit suicide.
no, I didn't. You can't say that word first. And I'm talking about femicide, not unalivings of themselves, femicide, which means men are going to unalive Black women because of the things that you say and you do with your platform. Absolutely.
So what have I done with my platform that caused the man to commit femicide?
Your platform is a constant cesspool of degradation and devaluing of the Black woman. I literally saw a live that you had a few days ago where you praised and this is not necessarily connected to Black femicide, but some other things that you have said. But the devaluing of a large percentage of Black women. You told a light-skinned Black woman that she has the complexion that Black men desire, and that was a plus for her. And you know that people call it colorist or colorism, but that's just the truth. You're just telling the truth. And saying that with a big platform and not recognizing that that is exposing you as a raccoon or someone that has been indoctrinated by white supremacy is wild to me. Because who told Black people that light skin was the prize? The white man did that. So you parroting the things that white men indoctrinated in you is very strange and very weird. I did a lot of research on you, and I also think it's weird that you said that when your wife is not really light skinned. That how do you think that she may feel about that? Hearing the things that you're saying, you're even
Okay, well
devaluing the person that you say you're married to.
let
It's
me
very
respond.
strange and weird.
So first of all, you said the colorism thing. I said that the
Yes.
women with fair skin are favorable. Is that the truth or not? Do people not use colorism? Do Black men not use colorism?
You said that she was the prize, which means that you think so too. And what I'm saying is that if you think that, or other Black men think that, it's something wrong with y'all, that you have been indoctrinated by white supremacy. That is a fact because the white T-man is the one that told black people that light skin is to be prized amongst the community of mostly darker skinned people. So if you say that, yes, that's a problem. And that
I
means that
never
you
I
need to
never
do some
used
research.
words like the prize, ma'am, just for the record.
You said, yes, you did. You said that she had a one up. I forgot what word you said, but you definitely said that. That
Okay,
was
well
definitely the gist of
let
what
me
you said for
clarify
sure.
what I said.
And
Let
I
me
recorded
repeat
it as well. You don't
let
have
me
to
repeat
clarify it.
exactly
I
what
heard
I
it.
said. I said that men typically like to choose women with fairer skin. Did I not?
Yes. You don't think that's a problematic statement to say as a black man?
It's only a problematic statement if I am telling a lie. Am I
No, it's a
lying?
problematic statement in general because if I said that, let's see, something is true, like black men commit a lot of crimes, statistically, unaliving each other. They do that a lot, more so than anyone else, unaliving each other. So if I said that black men were violent monkeys, violent apes, right? They had no emotional regulation. And I gave a whole bunch of statistics. Some of what I said would be true, but also some of it would be very, very concerning, filled with
Exaggerated, right?
racist ideologies. So what I'm saying to you is there's no way you can rationalize away telling a light-skinned woman that she somehow was superior because all of that comes from a faulty ideology. And nonetheless, that's not even what I want to talk about, to be honest with you, because that's the least of what you said. You're a married man. You've allowed other men to come on your platform and to say all women are prostitutes. All married women are prostitutes. All women are worthless and no good. As you sit there and let them say these things. I have no idea why you do it. But once again, I do believe that you're part of the problem. And men like you are part of the problem. Now, I don't know if it's that y'all want clicks and views and y'all feel like this is the only way to get it. The only way to blow up is to degrade the very group of women that you're coming home to every day. And also put your own children, your daughter at risk from men that will consume the type of content that you're pushing forward years later. I'm not quite for sure, but you're definitely to blame. And you have to take that up with you and the creator because you definitely have a part to play in this. You're definitely responsible, as well as a lot of other men. It's not just you.
So if I
What's
can respond, you said
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
you said I allowed somebody to come on the platform and call women a prostitute.
Yes, you did.
Do you know the context in what they argued why the women were prostitutes?
Yes, I do. And there's no context that you can have to allow somebody to
No,
say
I'm
that.
asking, did you know the context
Yes,
that
I
that
did. I
person
did. I
used?
did. Yes, I did. And I know that person. And I know that person hates women in general. So for you to allow someone that hates women and hates wives, and that's a miserable person that can't even keep a relationship going, for you to allow somebody like that to spew that kind of hate when you are in a partnership or a marriage with a woman is very disturbing and weird, in my opinion. But like I said, I mean, we have to agree to disagree, but I definitely do think that you're one of the men that I definitely would have in mind if I was talking about men on social media causing black femicide for sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, so how am I the cause when I'm just hosting a platform that allow people with freedom of speech and to substantiate their own individual opinion and arguments?
Because what you could do is instead of making inflammatory topics that are definitely going to black women are going to take the brunt of the discussions that you're having, you could talk about how can we get black men to be more enrolled in college, to get their education up. You could talk about the ways to protect young black boys from going to prison or going to jail or regulating their emotions. You could talk to have people come up there that have avenues to get jobs so that black men could not have the lowest labor force participation rate out of all races of men. There is a lot of things that you could
yeah.
do to benefit men as opposed to doing sensationalized topics that are rooted in the degradation of black women. But you don't choose to do that. You choose to do things specifically that's going to place black women in a position to be degraded. In my opinion, seeing a whole bunch of dudes that are definitely 35 and up with gray hair in their beards or they're bald headed, rating women that are coming up there, that's the most immature thing I can think of for somebody to do that's over the age of 35. Like, are we 10? Are we 12? Are we 15? Are we in high school? Like, you're actually holding spaces for women to be rated. Not to mention that the men that you're having up there rating these women, Oh my goodness. And then the women, they play a part in this too. They're not exempt. They're also fools. But it's just crazy that that is something that you would feel like you want to do with your time. And not to keep in mind that these men are undesirable men, unwanted men. They don't have wives. They don't have people that care about them, but they're taking their time to rate women. And their whole thing is not to help these women. It's just to degrade them.
That's
Okay,
what I
Period.
so
was
can
about to
I
That's
say.
all it
You
is.
triggered. That's what I was
Yes.
going to say. You
No, I
triggered.
think you should. I think you should just sit on what she told you in
I think so
silence.
okay,
too.
I'll
But
sit on
that's
what you said in silent then.
but you're triggered. You said exactly what I wanted to say a few minutes ago. It's like
I'll
there are
just give
so
you,
many.
hey, since there's somebody else up here, Tam, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes and then I'm gonna go up there to Destiny.
I mean, just responding to the
Oh,
conversation,
no problem.
there are so many things that people can talk about that don't involve personal affairs that are beneficial to community. Groups disenfranchised and disparage groups in the community, specifically within the Black community, that pertain to industry, education, production, artistic creativity, intellectualism. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And because they, Black men, as you stated, have just a low functional level, just function at such a low level, have succumbed to popular culture or, whatever this subculture is within the culture, of like being proud to be Black. They are stuck and limiting themselves, and like you said, causing harm, sensationalized, click and bait, rage baiting topics. That's all I wanted to say, because I wanted to say that a couple minutes ago, but you hit it. You could simply talk about something else that's not involving people, personal, private affairs. Let people have their personal, private lives and deal with those. Let's
All
talk
right.
about things that build community.
All right. I got you. Tam. I definitely agree. Like I said, I mean, I promise you, I just want to say this and then I'm gonna go up there to Destiny. You could cut my nipples off, put them in a blender, and make a nipple smoothie before I would ever get on a live stream to be rated by Negroes that I would not touch with somebody else's vagina. I cannot believe that those women were doing that. I literally took my time to click on all of those men's profile photos and their pages, and I was flabber to the gasted. Like, would you want to have sex with any of these guys? Yuck. I know that you wouldn't. So why do you want to be rated by them? And then the fact that the man that was up here, he's a married man and you're out here rating women is already inappropriate. What type of man is up there rating people and he got a wife and kids? Imagine if his wife had a platform and it was a whole bunch of dudes up there and they were attractive dudes and she like, oh yeah, you know what? I think you were 8. Yeah, you could probably do a little better, baby, if you went in there and just built up them thighs a little bit. But you good. You were 8 sexy. Oh, yeah, what about you? I think you were 6. You know what I'm saying? You got nice lips and y'all like your hair, but you could do this. That would be unacceptable, right? But somehow it's okay for you as a married man to be out there rating heifers. Be freaking for real. And that's what I mean. A lot of these Black men they want to do things that they would never allow their women to do. The problem is that they want to be the victimizers, but they don't want to be the victims. I don't respect none of them. And I really, for the life of me, I don't even know why he requested up, because he's definitely one of the type of Black men that I'm talking about. But I'm glad that I had a chance to tell him, because he had popped up in my feed like last week or something. And I just started seeing his content and I was just disgusted. Like, sir, really? Like, and the fact that, and this, I'm not trying to reduce myself to personal attacks, but the fact that you would feel comfortable rating anybody and you don't got a lick of hair on your head, on your scalp, you can't get no braids, no locks, no cruddy cut, no Caesar, no taper, no ball fade, no boosie fade. And you over there like, what? I don't even know what to say. Okay, let me keep going. Go ahead, Destiny.
Come back to me.
Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, y'all. I just like I said. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
I'm glad that he came up because this actually, I although I've never seen his content, I hope I never do, but they're always bald, they're always unattractive, and somehow they're always married and they hold these spaces. And I can't believe that his wife isn't light skinned and he is practicing these colorist ideologies. I really find it astonishing in how they downplay their impact. Saying, oh, I can't control what other men say, their freedom of speech, of their perspectives, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, you hold this space. You don't have to allow anyone to say anything that is disrespectful, but he allows it because he likes the clicks and views, and he likes probably the currency that comes from it. And deep down inside, he probably disrespects his wife at home. And, I feel like when men hold these spaces on TikTok, this is the things that they're saying in the barbershop. Before it was just held in the barbershop, probably in the earlier days. But now they can come online and conjure together from all places from the world in the States and talk that same rhetoric and talk the same trash about women. And it is very harmful. And for him to just disengage of what you were saying, not really believe it, not take any accountability, it just shows everything that you were saying was true. Period.
I mean, I definitely agree because I'm telling you, I recorded what that man said. He definitely said that light skinned women was the prize and she had something special because she was light skinned. And I think that's crazy to say with a brown skinned wife. Like, you literally said that light skinned women were better and more desirable or more desired than dark skinned or brown to dark skinned women. Why you have a brown skinned wife? Why yo? Imagine this, y'all, because he bald headed, right? He don't got no hair. Imagine if his wife was on a panel and she said, look here, y'all. Let me tell you something, brother. Like, you got a nice full head of hair. You what women really want. Because women really are checking for men with hair. That's what they really, really want. Deep down inside, they don't want no bald nigga. Right? He would be
Right.
somewhere crying in the shower, rubbing his scalp with doggone oils and stuff, hoping that he could go and get some hair. He could get a doggone Homer Simpson tuft up there. He'd be like, Lord, God, please bless me with just the Homer Simpson tuft. Let me just get the Homer Simpson piece up there. Please, please, Lord, please let me get that. If his wife was up there saying that. So it's just like, what are we talking about? Roses and Tulip says, aren't you married to a black man, host? Please shut the... First of all, I tell you what, you can take your mouth and put it where the sun don't shine. Because what does me being married to a black man have to do with anything? Yes, I'm married to a black man. I've already said that he is a great and amazing person, and he is a unicorn. Not to mention that I never said that all black men are this or that. What I said is the majority and the collective have a lot of work to do and they are problematic. So what are we really talking about? So how about you shut up? And since you have so much to say, why don't you come back here from your real page and get in the box? And if you don't want to, I'm going to block you because I don't like it when y'all come up here from your fake page talking crazy to me. If there's ever smoke, I'm never running. Okay? I'm never running from it. I am highly confrontational. Come up here and get in the box. I'll let you speak for 3 minutes uninterrupted. But I bet you won't do that. Okay? Anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead. You ready, Destiny?
I am.
Okay.
So when I came in, I just heard some jigaboo going back and forth with you. And I just want to put this out there because it's the truth, especially with specimen or males like him and his gang. They love a good prostitute. That's why we stay on their lips. Ow. Because you won't catch me talking about a bum or light-skinned women or white women or Asia, because that doesn't concern me. You will see me talking about maybe nails or natural hair, good food, biology, because those things interest me. So you have to understand the game that these specimens are playing when constantly they're feeding energy into quote unquote things and women that they don't like. Seems to me like it's the opposite. You really enjoy what you talk about because the good book says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So keep your lips off of us if you don't like us. It's really that simple. Why aren't you consumed with the women that you do like? Why do you not have time and are overly consumed with them? Surely they will keep your hands full. Surely they'll keep you busy. But instead, you got your lips on us, especially dark-skinned women. Why? Why is that? I think everyone knows the answer why.
Destiny, I tell you what, I love the term specimen. I've never heard it before. I'm going to have to use that.
There you go.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I like
It's
that
either
too.
male specimen or some other form. It's never men. I've never heard men or seen men
I've heard them called
and behave that way. The men that I have seen in my personal life and have heard about are much more polished than what they come off as. So the correct term will be boy or specimen.
Have you heard bipedal creature?
Yeah, definitely, she said creature before.
With the
Oh my
bipedal
goodness, y'all.
Wittgenstein too. Good night.
All right, y'all. Let me go next up here to Miss Carmel. Go ahead, Miss Carmel.
Hey Trig.
Hey.
Girl, I when I first got on, I was driving, so I couldn't like come on when I wanted to, and when I got back on, I heard just listening to the conversation. I must have missed the guy that y'all were talking about. But I know I was present for the one guy, when you were talking about like the femicide rates and stuff like that, girl, and it never ceases to amaze me. My antennas always go up when the conversation is on femicide, and then you get a man who doesn't even, for one, acknowledge the topic. They never do. They never acknowledge the topic. They never, they just continuously show that they lack empathy for women. BOK men, they continuously show that they lack empathy for BOK women, to be exact. And it's just so disgusting. And I still don't understand why in 2026 there's still some women who, they just don't want to believe or accept that this is a real issue. I mean, we're losing our lives every day. Our children. Like the other day, I seen an article online about like there's over 60 plus children that are currently missing, BOK children that are currently missing in Virginia in the last 30 days. So this is in the last month that they have been over 60 plus BOK children. And and the first thing they want to jump up here and say is somebody's angry. Yes, for me, I'm very angry, very angry, very, very angry. I'm tired of seeing, and like you were saying, Trig, like this has been the uptick in, the femicide rates has been the way it is for decades now. So, it's disgusting. And I really, I love these lives. I love when, we're talking about these topics so that whoever, whatever BOK woman or girl or whatever is listening, they can hear like these are live case studies. These are live case studies that women could see, firsthand how much empathy that these BOK men lack for us. Like they lack it. It's disgusting, and I'm just sick of it. And then for that one page that got up here on that bot account, it's just crazy. They sound like they could have been here before, because how the heck did they know that you had a BOK husband? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for you to go and make a bot page just to come on here and talk mess, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if it was a woman. The handles seem to be, but one thing I've noticed too, a lot of these men are out here on bot pages, You know what I'm saying? And it's just so disgusting, child. I'm so sick of them.
Me too. Like I don't know. I don't understand what it is. And I do think that the world, including black men, lack empathy for black women as a collective. And it's really crazy because I don't understand how me talking about women and girls, black women and black girls that are actually losing their lives at young ages is so triggering to you. Like, I don't understand it. What about me saying, hey, you know what? Let's figure out what we can do to curb this black femicide. Like I said before, it's several girls this month, and we're not even in the middle of the month yet, that are 16 and 17 that lost their lives at the hands of black boys and black men. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this. Why do you think that black femicide keeps increasing? Because how come it's not increasing when it comes to black women or black girls attacking black men? It's not happening. And it's just like first thing you want to do, just like Miss Tyke is saying in the comments, it go both ways. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So stop lying. And once they first come up here and say crazy stuff like that, it's like, I don't even want to talk to you because that's not true. It doesn't go both ways. It doesn't. So I don't know. Statistically, it doesn't. Factually, it doesn't. If we want to talk about like, and then people say like, oh, you mad? You mad? Yes. I think if you're a thinking black woman, you should be mad. You should be angry. You should be disturbed at all of these black women and black girls losing their lives. They can't even, it's another girl that got pew to death at her job. 24. Unalived by her baby daddy who was beating on her, and she had a kid with him that was 3 and said she didn't want to be with him no more. This man came up to her job and unalived her in front of everybody. It's like, what?
Can I get in there and say something about that? Women, when you want to separate from these men, just drop the kids off to them. Drop the kids off and go. Let them have the baby. Stop trying to be super mom and superhero when to somebody who you done gave a kid to. We got to detach, because at the end of the day, who you gonna be able to save? Yourself or 3, 4, 5 other people?
See, I would
Let
disagree
them
with
have
that,
the
Jackie.
baby.
I would
I'm
disagree
sorry.
with that because sometimes they ended up unaliving the children.
Yeah, I was
And that's what
Ma'am,
you don't
I
want
was
to
gonna
take.
let
jump.
them
Oh,
keep their kids, ma'am. This is
I
how
was
they
gonna
get you. Because
I
you
was
got
gonna jump in and
but
say
we know
something.
about
hold
these
on, you
babies.
guys, just 1 second. I'm gonna go up here to Valencia and let her speak first, and then if Brown Sugar and Destiny and Simply Caramel, y'all want to have an open panel discussion about the kids, y'all can. Just let Valencia speak first. Okay, go ahead, Valencia.
Hey y'all, nice to meet y'all.
Hey.
I just came across your page earlier, and I'm so happy that I did, girl. I love everything that you're doing. Black men on social media are causing an uptick in femicide. I 100% agree, and I have been screaming this. I am so glad I'm finally connected to my people. I don't understand how these men are so like just cruel. Like I don't understand, because. And we will never understand because we not wired like them. You know, we have hearts, we have empathy, we have a conscience, you know? And it reminds me of, I think this was a month ago, maybe. I'm from Louisiana. So when that thing happened in Shreveport with that man, when he unalived them 8 babies, the only people that I saw talking about it were the handful of men who actually advocate for us, like Controversial Shannon and Jumbled and Bernie, those types. Those were the only ones that I saw actually talking about it, and they were angry about it. The rest of them, they did not say anything. I don't trust me, I don't be trying to go in them paper places, but I didn't see it. I constantly just see the same old stuff. This has gone far beyond, oh, we don't like our weaves, we don't like our nails, we don't like the way y'all dress. This has gone far beyond that now. It's getting to the point that they are belittling us, they are dehumanizing us. And it's not even just the the cis men. It's this them, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole just crew of everybody that it seems like they want to delete the black woman. And it's really scary, you know? I don't have any kids myself yet, but like honestly, y'all, I'm scared to have kids. Even more so to have a daughter. If this is the way that they truly feel. if this is the way that they've always truly felt, this is scary. But thank God that we are actually seeing them for who they are now, because now we can run the other way. I'm glad that they feel comfortable talking to how they talking, because so we can run the other way and leave them the hell alone with each other. But it just saddens me to see just to see how they are. It goes down simply to the point of them when they call us females versus women. How hard is that? How hard is that? But it's intentional to dehumanize us. Literally. And it's crazy because they want to scream about the white tea oppressor all day, every day. Oh, they don't blah, blah, blah. When they are quite literally doing the same thing to us. And they only doing it to us because they can't get at the person that they really mad at. They can't outdo the person that they really mad at. And they also mad that we outperforming them now in these jobs and everything. And I land with that point. Thank y'all.
They can get at who the
All
oppressor
right,
is. They
just a
just know
second.
that oppressor
Hold
is
on.
way tougher than them.
All right,
They ain't ready to step with them.
yeah, just okay. So, all right, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Valencia. All right, so I'm gonna go to Brown Sugar first, and then Simply, and then if y'all want to rebut, I guess Miss Destiny, and then I'll let Destiny rebut y'all back. Go ahead, Brown
Yeah,
Sugar.
let me clarify first of all.
Okay,
too,
okay.
If you need, do you
Okay,
need
yeah, go ahead,
clarification,
Destiny.
ladies?
No, I don't.
Okay, go ahead.
I completely would disagree with the solution just being okay, leaving the man with the children, because there have been so many instances of black women leaving the men with these children, or with men in general, and the babies come up unalive. And I just feel like as the mother, you're supposed to protect your child. And if you know this dude has signs of AB, talking to you crazy, there's so many red flags that these dudes show. I would not give my child over to no man just to say, oh, here you go, you deal with it. I just don't think that that's fair for the child. And like I said, I wouldn't risk my own daughter's life just to say, oh, I got a break. I'm tired of something that's going through with me and a child's father, so he just gonna have my child. Because I would never forgive myself if something ever happened to her. And guess what? If something ever would happen to her because I allowed her to go over there, the fault would be on me. It wouldn't be on the man, because all they say is, well, she shouldn't have let him go over there. He showed AB tendencies. He did this. He did that. Why would she let him go over there? So as a mother, you would bear much responsibility. Now, if the man is responsible and he's a good father, I don't even think it would be a situation where you would have to send your child over there, because y'all would have a healthy co-parenting relationship. But if he has these narcissistic tendencies, he's very AB, very disrespectful, I would not send my daughter over to no man, father or not.
All right, I got you, Brown Sugar. Simply Caramel, you had something to say?
Yes, girl. Oh my goodness, child. Yeah, everything Brown Sugar just said. One thing that I will say, because again, I know that as BOK women, we're not all a monolith. So we're not gonna agree on all things.
Oh
I just
God,
one
the
thing.
jigaboo.
Girl, shut your mouth,
Hold
because
on.
you're talking too much.
The Darwin jigaboo is back.
Hey,
Who
you
is a
guys try
Darwin
not to. Hey, you
Jigaboo?
guys try not to use words like that. Y'all get the live shut down. Okay.
How was
Oh,
that?
who was that talking?
My
Just
Why did
one
I get
bad.
the
second.
Why do I gotta get
Darwin.
the disrespect?
Yeah, just 1 second, Darwin. Simply Caramel, was you done?
We can go ahead and get this little bald head banded together, child.
I want to respond.
Oh, what Destiny? What you want to respond to, sis?
Simply says she would not, and Brown says she would not. Do y'all have
Well,
children?
I didn't. I
Yeah, I
didn't
do
finish.
have a child.
I didn't
Go
finish
ahead,
what I
finish
was saying.
simply. Go ahead, finish
Okay.
this.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
yeah.
Simply Caramel. I think you should finish now.
Okay, yeah. No, I was just saying that like again, we're not all a monolith, so we're not going to agree on everything. One thing I will say, I mean, I'm not 100% against leaving like a child with, and yes, I am a mom. I'm a mom of 3. I have 2 sons and a daughter, and I am a DV survivor. I also lost a very dear. One thing that I will say, sorry, I had got a phone call. One thing that I will say is that I'm not 100% against, as long as the man has demonstrated that he is of a healthy mindset and is capable of taking care of children, and I would at least want to have joint custody to, get my kids, be able to talk to my kids, and we have like a healthy co-parenting relationship. That's the only way that I can see. But I had experience, like just with an anecdotal experience, with one of my children's father had broke up with his other baby mom, and we both were close. That man ended up burning their son with the iron because she did not want to be with him anymore. But he has never demonstrated to be of a healthy mindset. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. If you have a man and you know that he don't have a healthy mind, you know what I'm saying? And he's capable of abuse, of doing harm to you, or if he demonstrated, any level of like can't control himself in his anger or put his hands on you or anything like that, don't respect you, don't respect. If a man is not treating his baby mom right, or his girl, the woman of his child right, I would not advise to leave my child with a man like that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I'm totally against is women who have a mindset like, oh, he's a horrible partner to me, but he's a great father. That's the most asinine shit that I continuously hear women say that. And I lost my friend, my dear best friend, to a situation like that by the hands of her baby father. She was constantly like, oh, he's a horrible man to me. He dragged me through the mud, but he's a great father. Those two do not go. They're not synonymous. A man cannot be a horrible person to you, but be a great father to your children. And 9 times out of 10, I will say that that's a lot of people's situations out here. So no, I don't agree with that 100%. But like I said, the only exception that I would say is, to recommend that, or a woman doing that, leaving her children with her baby father or whatever, is if he has demonstrated to be of a healthy mind. He's not, just reckless with his behavior, lacking emotional intelligence, have a history of treating you like ish, not caring about your mental state so you can be able to pour into your children. A lot of the times women are not dealing with those type of men.
What was Destiny's reason for her saying that, though? I'm curious to know.
Because my reasoning before I'm gonna say this. Simply, you sound like a lady, and I like that about you. Go ahead, girl. Sounds like you chose good when you chose to procreate with the man. So that's kudos to you. And I'm sorry about your friend. Somebody said that in the comments, so I wanted to say that. But to Tam, I was saying that because I know people know your push points, or they think they know your push points. And so power is a dynamic that women aren't really familiar with, especially when it involves a man. So they're very ruthless, okay? Women think they're ruthless, but they're not really that ruthless. So a man will use every tool in his toolbox to get at you. And sometimes they use family. So I didn't know you all were thinking about abusive men, but if you lay down with them, you have an abusive baby daddy. So maybe that's something you could look in the mirror and deal with. But I'm with Triggered. It's not all just men. I think women need to take their accountability in this too. A lot of women are laying up with bum men and harsh and mean men, and then want to take that out on every other woman who didn't do that. I think that's the weird part. But thank you, Trig. You go ahead. Let's hear from Darwin.
All right. I just 1 second. I just wanted to say that I think it's an oversimplification to say that, if a woman does have a child with can we not say the AD, or a man that is harming her? I'll just use that word. I think that doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad woman. It doesn't mean that everybody makes mistakes in this life, right? Some people are able to move forward from their mistakes and learn. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not have been given the tools of success. Some people may have been given the tools of success. Some people may realize, hey, you know what? There were warning signs that I should have seen that I didn't see due to my immaturity, due to my desperation, due to my lack of wanting or my need for love or validation. It's a lot of different things that can happen to make people make a poor choice. Now, there are some people that just make poor choices and you're just looking at them like, what the heck is going on, sister? This is just foolish. This is your 50th mistake. You got to know better by now. But I don't think it's necessarily just to say if somebody has chosen a wrong partner or something like that, that all of that is put on them. Because I oftentimes think that when we talk about women choosing better and all of those things, what we do is what we normally do in the Black community, which is put all of the blame onto the woman in the community. We only put it on the Black woman. We never say like, hey, how about also that these men need to do better? They need to be better. They need to stop abusing women, or excuse me, harming women or doing things to them. And this isn't to say that there aren't women, like I said, that make mistakes that they should have known better. But what I'm saying is that everybody on this planet has made mistakes and made errors and done things that they're not proud of. Some are just more visible than the next person. Maybe somebody else, has, maybe they don't have kids, but maybe they slept with a billion different dudes that only gave them dick and then dropped them back off. And now all they have all of this chaos in their brain because they've allowed all of these spirits into their soul. But those women we don't know because there's nothing visible that we can see to judge them by. So I don't necessarily agree with, judging Black women harshly, because the world already judges us harshly. No one gives grace to Black women. You know what I'm saying? Now, people give grace to Black men all the time, every day, but I don't think that same grace is extended to Black women. So I do think that oftentimes, if we're in spaces where it's just us, not saying that we're going to be validating people's crazy choices if they come up and say something crazy or wild, but I do think that we have to be the change that we want to see in dealing with each other as Black women, which is giving each other grace and consideration and understanding, and not necessarily tearing people up for mistakes that they've already made. Because if I've already made the mistake, right? I've already chosen the guy, he ain't right. I already had the kid, and I'm trying to do better moving forward. What is you coming back and saying, well, you should have chose better? It looked like you made a mistake. At that point, what do you want me to do? You want me to go hang myself or what? Like the better way to get a good reaction from somebody is to pour love into them and give them knowledge so that they don't make those mistakes moving forward. But I'm gonna keep going and let this man speak that came up here, because you can
Can
go
I say
ahead.
one more thing, Trick?
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with you, Destiny, but I felt like you were being shady.
I don't
towards
really
me.
care how you feel, because you told me the girl shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
I
And that
sure
was
did.
so
I sure
unladylike.
did. I sure
I
did
looked
tell
at your
you that
profile
shut the
and your
fuck up.
pictures
I
match.
sure did tell you to shut the
Yeah,
fuck
it
up because I
matches your
thought you were being shady
masculinity. Your
towards
Hey,
me.
pictures.
Destiny, don't do that, please.
No, it matches.
Okay, I
Look,
don't
you need to
know.
watch your mouth.
I've never seen you before here, Destiny. So I
Yes, you
would
have. I come up here very often.
I've
Yeah, I
never
haven't seen Brown before.
Brown Sugar's here every
She's your
day.
new mod. Yeah, I see her.
Yeah, she's here quite frequently, but I don't remember you. I don't.
I've come up here at least 10 times.
Have you? Has it been any time recent? Because I don't recall you.
Last time I came up probably has been about 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. I don't recall you, but I just want us to not degrade into name calling or anything like that.
She can tell me to shut the fuck up,
No,
and I don't
I
have
don't
no
think-
Yeah, I
response,
can
right?
because you told me.
Okay,
you
hold
said
on, Brown
something
Sugar.
in the comments.
Hold on,
So I
sir.
wanna say something to you.
Hold on to both of y'all, please.
Sir,
please.
I'm not talking to you.
Just a second. Okay, so I understand you said she told you to shut the F up. That's not cool. However, you could
she need
easily
to go
tell.
start her own
Wait a
page.
minute.
That's how-
Let me finish this. I think that you could, respond to her in turn or whatever. But I just think attacking each other's looks and things like that, I just don't want us to do as Black women. Or, even when I see like Black women call another Black woman a man or masculine, I think that all of those things are like talking points that people have received from men. And I don't like that. So let's refrain from doing that, please.
That's like the word, the N word. You don't like the N word, but you want to act like a nigga. But I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay, try. Okay, Destiny. Look, I'm trying to be. You know what I'm saying? Like unbiased here. Try not to use the N word and try not to do the things that I specifically, as the host said. Please respect me. It's my space. Thanks. All right, so let me keep going. Let me go next up here to Darwin. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Trigger.
Okay, yeah. So I had did what y'all said and took the time to let it linger or whatever. Somebody said something like that. So I went back and watched it. And you said it. I recall you said I made a topic that made men want to degrade women or come up there and call women the P word. I can't say it.
No,
Whatever
I said that you constantly host spaces and you word things in ways that is definitely going to get men up there that are angry and upset with women. And they also hate black women, and it's going to place them in a position to degrade them, which is why most of your lives are filled with black men that are degrading black women or women in general.
Well, first of all I can do is make a topic. Men have autonomy over if they want to frame something in a negative way or if they want to frame something in a positive way. For example, I made the prompt that you were referencing when somebody called somebody a woman that do exchange for money was saying the prompt was, who is the better woman? An independent woman or a woman who needs a man to survive? How does that topic or space cause men to increase the uptick in femicide?
Okay, so once again, let me say this. You are the host. You can control any and everything that happens in your space. When there are men that come up there and call black women the B words, call black women unattractive and ugly and masculine, you can control that and say, hey, we don't degrade black women here. We don't talk about black women here in a negative way. We don't call wives what escorts. It wasn't that word. It was a way nastier word than that. I don't know if I can say that, but we don't call wives or women those things. Like I said before, I find it to be strange because you have a wife. But like I said before, what you allow, what goes on with y'all is what goes on with y'all. But these are behaviors that I don't feel are necessarily indicative of a healthy, happy relationship. Allowing men to come up on your platform and discriminate against all black women, discriminate against all wives, to say all of these things. But once again, I'm not surprised by it because, like I said, your comments about light-skinned women and putting them up on a pedestal as you have a black wife that is not light-skinned is all very strange and weird to me. And I said this earlier, I don't know if you were here. Imagine if your wife was somewhere holding a live stream about how men with hair were way more attractive than men that were bald headed. And those men were prized and was saying all of these positive things about men with hair. How would you feel that she was thinking about you and you don't have any hair on your head? What I'm saying is a lot of the things that you are doing, you don't sound like you're a stupid man. I think that you know exactly what you're doing. I think that you want engagement and you want people to go in your lives and you're prepared to throw all black women, including your black wife and your black daughter, under the bus to get it. And I find that to be disgusting. You're playing like you're powerless. You're not powerless. You have all the control. Like I said before, you could hold a live where you're not talking about rating people. Because you look like you're definitely over the age of 40. You don't have to have a live rating people. How immature is that? Like I said before, you could have a live about how black men can emotionally regulate themselves, how we can get more black men into working, to being in the labor force and participating, seeing as though they have the lowest rates. You could talk about how black men can educate themselves. You could talk about different places where there are jobs at all across the United States of America. Hey, bro, I know somebody that's hiring here in New York. I know somebody that's hiring here in California. I know somebody that's hiring here in North Carolina or wherever else, but you're not doing that. You're talking about things that make no sense. And that open up the space for black women to be degraded. Absolutely.
All right, so let me respond. So I think I figured it out. You're saying I should talk about a particular thing, and you're also saying that I should not talk about a particular thing. Whenever
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Hold on. Let me finish and then you can correct me. You're saying I could talk about XYZ instead of ABC without acknowledging that I have autonomy over the type of topic I choose to talk about. You're pushing a principle and moral that you haven't confirmed that I subscribe to. So you're anticipating that we subscribe to the same morals, and that if I'm not talking about the same things that you approve, then I'm in the wrong. But I think we first got to understand, why am I talking about the things I'm talking about? And can I talk about them? Yes, I can. Now, why? You can ask me why, but then that will cause you to change your angle of how you're attacking me with these claims or this judgment. But I will say this. A lot of the topics I have is for people to come up and substantiate an argument. If they come up here and say all black men or black women are this, or if women come up there and say all black men are this, I'll allow it. I don't censor nobody. But if you do make a claim, you will have to substantiate your argument. Okay. And if you can't substantiate your argument, then you got to go.
Uh,
Simple as that.
okay, so let me say this. I'm not trying to police you and tell you what you can talk about. I don't care. Like I said before, it's so many black men that do what you do. This isn't surprising. This has been happening, like I said, since I don't know, definitely since we were brought over here. Black men selling out the black community and selling out black women to do whatever they want to do. So that's not something that I'm surprised by, nor am I trying to tell you not to do. You can talk about whatever you want, just like I choose what I want to talk about, who I speak to. Me personally, there are plenty of people that hold lies and they allow white people to come in, right? They allow white people to come in and talk about black people and talk about black business and degrade black women and degrade black men and do all of these things. I don't do that because that's not something I'm going to let people do. If it's black business, it's black business. And the only people that I will discuss it with are black people. Now, I could be like you and say, well, I'll just let them substantiate their claim of why black people are chimping out and why they're uneducated monkeys. Even if I do that, that's still problematic, right? I'm still causing some type of problem by allowing these people to have this type of discourse. So what I'm saying
What
is, let me
problem are you
finish.
causing?
What I'm saying is that is indeed what you're doing. I sat there and watched you talk to a man that has gotten in trouble with his I don't know what the military people for blaming teenage girls that got raped. You know what I'm saying? Putting it on them. That is the type of scumbag that you're allowing to come up there and give his perspective and thoughts on women and wives, men that are completely emotionally unstable and unhinged. And what they are doing is spreading their poison to other men, which is, it's almost like, if anybody has seen the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, this is what men like this person up here, Darwin, does, and other black men. They allow poisoned and demonic men that are hateful and have gripes against black women, most likely because of their own failures in life, to go ahead and touch socially or virtually other black men with that same spirit, that demonic spirit of anger, hatred, violence, degradation, and everything else. And then it passes from male to male to male to male to male, which is why they said statistically that a lot of boys, if I'm not mistaken, from 10 to 18 are being deeply, deeply, deeply affected by social media and red pill ideology. So once again, when you allow the space to be held for unproductive conversations, immature conversations, you push forward the violence and hatred and the devaluation of black lives, more specifically, black lives of black women and black girls. Now, if you cool with doing that, which I clearly can tell that you are, that is fine. But I will always speak up about men that do things like this, because it is a problem. And once again, it should be an even bigger problem for you because you have a wife and you have a daughter. And think about the men that speak on your platforms. What do you think that's the type of violence that they will perpetrate against your black daughter? When she gets to be older, she'll be the same thing that they call the other black women up there. A 304, nappy headed, unattractive, the worst of the worst, the bottom of the barrel. Your daughter will not be spared at all. But for some reason, y'all don't think about that the energy that you put out and the energy that you allow to be put out will return to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You think that you're going to escape it. Oh, well, I ain't really doing it. It's them. Oh, I just want some views. I just want to get a galaxy or two. It's not a problem, but it will come back to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether it directly be through you, whether it be through harm coming to your wife, whether it be through harm coming to your daughter, it will come back to you. Negative energy that you put out there will always return. And that's something that you should be more concerned about than what I'm saying. You are causing direct harm to the black community, direct harm to black women, direct harm to black girls, direct harm to black boys. You are a problem, as well as the majority of men that make content just like you. Once again, this isn't to single you out, because there's plenty of y'all that do this. You're not the only one. It's thousands of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's very scary to me. Like I said,
Well,
but
let me
and
tell
then
you.
and then I'm gonna let you talk. Let me just say one more thing. When we talk about morals, that I want you to have the same morals as me and all of that, that's just a cop out, because certain morals should be subjective. Like if I said, hey, nobody should be out here raping people. Nobody should be out here touching kids, right? I think that everybody should be able to agree that, hey, if you touch kids, if you rape women, you rape kids, you're a degenerate. That's not something we should be doing. I think that morally that we should be able to understand that no, when black women are already a vulnerable demographic, which they are statistically, this isn't my feelings, this isn't my emotions, it's facts that black women and black girls are a vulnerable demographic. So for you to allow a vulnerable demographic of women and girls, which you also have in your life, to be even made even further vulnerable by public lynchings, degradation, that is a problem. And that should make you feel like by your moral standard, you don't want to do that.
All right.
It's just that
So
simple.
so let me just tell you why everything you said was just wrong. Well, I ain't gonna tell you that. Let me just address your argument. First of all, you haven't confirmed any topic I made that leads to any of the exaggerated claims you made. So I'm gonna just leave that
Yes, it
alone.
is.
And
I've
I'm just
already
gonna
said that.
you let me
That's
land.
what I'm saying. You keep acting like it's not true. You have made plenty of
I
lies.
thought you said you was gonna let me respond.
Yeah, I'm gonna respond to what you have to say first because that's just crazy. You're making it like I'm just pulling this out of nowhere. Like you don't have inflammatory lives. You know it, and I know it too. You're not gonna gaslight me about that. Has anybody seen this man's page or seen his live streams? If y'all could let me know down in the comments if y'all have seen him making inflammatory lives about black women. I just really, let's be real here. Thank y'all. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Like, you know what you're doing. Like, it's not just me. Okay, but you can keep going.
All right, again. So I'm not gonna address that because that's just subjective to the person who's looking at it, whether they're gonna rate it
No, it isn't.
immature or whatever they want to call it. We know that's subjective. All right.
No,
So
it isn't.
all right. So let me show you how I build my topics, so you don't think I'm just trying to get a galaxy of views. So what I did is I did for one particular topic that I did. So what I did was I did the research. Okay, most women want to stay at home. They don't want to go to work. They rather stay at home, take care of the kids. So that means that
I don't
I
think I can
mean,
do this. I don't think I
okay,
can do
Let me
this.
okay, we'll just
respond.
have a
Let me
conversation another
respond to him
time if
first.
you can't
Yeah,
handle
maybe we can do
response.
that because I don't think I can do it because the lack of accountability, the gaslighting, the lies, it's just
Let me
really getting
respond
on
to
my
him.
nerves, and I'm
All
really
right.
not here
Well,
to
we'll
play
just
games
do it
with you.
whenever you got the time.
Oh, don't drop me.
No, or
Let me
we can
respond.
just not do it at all, and you can just continue to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can always continue to do that.
Appreciate it.
All
Can
right, you have a
I,
great day, sir.
Darwin,
Um,
before you, can I ask him a question? A very important
no,
question.
you sure
He's
can't.
gone.
All right, nope, you can't.
Tree, can I
All
say
right,
something,
yeah.
please?
All right, and then I gotta go up here to Miss Calandra. Go ahead.
The only reason why I told Destiny to shut the F up is because she said that you like to have you have babies with abusive men. So yeah, I'm gonna say something to her. She don't know who I am. And she called two women up
I
here
wasn't
men,
talking to you.
which I think is
Go ahead.
strange.
Yeah, and I, I'm really not trying to be funny, but I'm gonna keep it real. I don't really like that stuff when black women call other black women men. I don't understand it. And I'm trying my best to be unbiased here, but I am getting a weird energy from you, Destiny. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I am. And I don't like that because it's just like if you're calling.
Well, they give me weird energy, so I'm just giving it back to them.
No, I think you started with the weird energy, respectfully. You did.
When she told me to shut the fuck up, that's when I
If
said,
you when you made wait a minute, please stop using the cuss word, y'all. Number two, you said that in the comments. I saw what you said about y'all like to have babies with abusive men. I saw that, and I didn't like that either because I don't feel like any of us are in any position to be judging women like that. You don't know these women. You don't know who they have babies with, and that was offensive to me as well.
why would it be
I
offensive
did.
to you if it doesn't fit
I
your
have a
Because
situation?
question. Destiny.
it's because whether it applies or not, it's a disrespectful thing because there are women that have had children with abusive men, but that doesn't make them less than. That doesn't mean that's their fault. And I don't understand why you would say something like that. And so if you say something that's inflammatory to make somebody mad, then you have to understand, just have to accept the energy that is reciprocated that you put out there. You may not have used the cuss word by what she said, but you also said something that was equally as offensive. That's
All
what I'm
right,
trying to
I'll
get you to
accept
understand.
I wanna say
I'll
something to
accept that.
Destiny real quick. I gotta
Oh,
hold
just
you.
a second, y'all. Just a second, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I
once
don't know
again,
why I'm the center of attention. Let
once
me
again, I
drop
just want to
down.
say,
Thanks, Craig.
okay, that's cool. And once again, like I said, calling people men, I don't like that. I don't like that. I really, really, really don't like that. And once again, I feel like if you're going to call somebody a man and you're a black woman, never mind. I'm really biting my tongue. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say because it's gonna be counterproductive. But I
It's
don't like that.
unnecessary.
I don't like that
I
calling
don't
black
like
women
it
men and
either.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. And then it's like, it's some women that feel like they're just so all of that in a bag of chips that they're just gonna come and act like they just look so much better and so just this. And I feel like if the only thing that you feel like you have to offer is your looks to lord it over another black woman, that's a problem. And then number two, if that's what you're doing, when I go to your page and I look at your pictures, it better be what it is. You better be looking like doggone 90s Halle Berry. And if you're not, that's going to make me go, what is it, the insecurity that you have that you're projecting to other women? Like, I don't like that though. And I'm not going to lie, because the last time I tried to ignore something like this, it was a big blow up. And I'm just going to say, I felt the strange energy as well. I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't. And I remember everybody that comes up here on a regular basis. And I do not remember Destiny. Now, I'm not saying she might have come up here a couple times, because that could have totally been, because sometimes I don't remember you if you come up a couple times. I remember the ladies that be in the chat because they comment all the time. But if you come in the box and you only come a couple times, I may not remember you, but I don't remember her like that. And definitely not enough for you to be just coming up here, interrupting, interjecting, being ignorant, being shady, because the comment was shady, and calling people men. That's not what we're going to do here. Because if we let it degenerate to that, your profile is public and it could get crazy, and I try to stop it from getting crazy like that because I don't want to be a hypocrite. If I say this is supposed to be a space for black women to love on each other and stuff like that, even though we won't always get along, sometimes there will be arguments and dust ups and discord, and that's fine. But we have to know what and where to draw the line at. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I think
I
it was
agree.
Valencia that.
Yeah, I wanted to hold her accountable as another believer as well, because she has righteousness in her bio. And that's not the way that you conduct yourself as a righteous believer. So I was gonna hold her accountable for that as well, because that was very ugly and unnecessary, the comment that she made. I agree with you. And I also felt some weird off vibes, and I felt like it was a serpent of deception sent in this space, because all of you ladies are wonderful and beautiful, and I'm enjoying the conversation so far, and it just seemed like she was just sent to cause discourse,
Yes, I do know exactly what you mean. And this has happened multiple times that we've all been having like a productive conversation. And there's been like one black woman that's come in and just caused a whole bunch of like friction, and anger and arguments, even with black women that normally don't be going back and forth. So normally when it's women like that, that already puts my antennas up to be like,
And
something ain't
Trig,
right.
I know you about to go to Calandra, girl, but I had caught the shade after she was like trying to say, "Oh, you a respectful woman," and then she made a comment about like y'all was saying, like, you had a baby by, or you sound like you had a kid.
Yeah, I
You didn't
heard.
sound like you had kids by
Yeah,
a respectful man or
it did
whatever.
sound
She said
facetious.
it sounded like
And
she's like, it sounded like you did good with the way
it
you procreated. Like, huh?
exactly. I caught the shade then, and then like when she was talking about how she went to Brown Sugar page, I went directly to her page, and I'm gonna just say she don't look nothing like her daggone profile pic.
Well, Triggered, I
I'll
have
give you
not
1 minute,
ever.
Tam. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I said I'll give you 1 minute, Tam. Then I gotta go up there to Calandra. You there, Tam? You
Okay.
can go ahead, sis.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to join and be a part of the dialogue too. The thing is that I understood not being here, not having been here for a while. This is my first time being on your panel. I don't know if you remember me. Do you remember me?
No.
Right. So people have to understand, like, it's social media. People come and go. Sometimes it's a lot of people. People not going to remember you. So I just thought it was kind of pointless to say, well, I've been up here 10 times and the last time was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago was a while. The last time I had any interaction with you, Triggered, and And I believe you when you say you don't remember. It's probably a month or two ago, but I have seen you in passing and have had just casual interactions with you, nothing toxic or anything like that. But I did notice the shade too. I was gonna say about the Darwin. It is a lack of social intelligence. It's a motivation for personal gain, personal interest. Lord have mercy. So we are adults, right? We know to a degree what is going on locally, nationally, and some of us globally. A part of being a productive member of society, somebody who takes accountability for themselves, for, holds others accountable. That's just part of the responsibility of being human. Most adult, healthy minded adults strive to do that in some ways. And none of us are going to be perfect at that. So for him to just, and them men or whoever, people to try to relinquish responsibility for holding themselves and others accountable on social media specifically, when we know prior to social media, that was that was the way that we kept ourselves in line, or at least prevented ourselves from putting ourselves at risk from, being jailed, imprisoned or unalived, and just bad things happened to us. We were mindful of ourselves and how we interacted and the things we did. Same thing we want for other people to do. So we don't want to see other people in our lives put at risk or lose freedom, lose liberty. So I just think it's just really a lot of lack of social intelligence and a lot of personal interest and personal gain. And it's really sad because I haven't seen one black male TikToker that is grossing $1 million or at least 100, 6-figure, 7-figure income. And I don't think the what's happening as a result, the increase in femicide is not worth the few pennies that they're making on social media.
All right. I got you. I definitely agree with you. All right, let me keep going. I'm gonna go up here next to Miss Calandra and then Lawless, so that we can get you all guys to speak, and then we'll try to move forward to doing like an open panel, y'all. Go ahead, Calandra.
I hate I missed the live. I feel like I came in when it started to get wild, but I definitely agree with your prompt trigger. I do feel like the way that these men come on these apps and talk negative about women every day, bash women every day, dehumanize women, single mothers, like all that they're doing. I do think that definitely leads to the rise of black femicide. And also with that woman in the comments who made that comment, I feel like red pill people said it a lot about the type of men that women date, because women should make smarter choices with who they choose to date. But at the same time, when you're always trying to blame women for their choices, I feel like that takes away from men. And I also feel like I don't personally think that black men should be holding lives where they blame women for the type of men that they're messing with. I think you should be holding lives teaching your fellow brother how to have emotional regulation. Like, I'm in your room. Thank you, sweetie. I think you should be holding lives where you hold men accountable. I don't support black men or black women who go on lives of black men and bash on women, because I don't really feel like a man really has too much that he can say to women. I feel like that takes away from like the things that you could be talking about. And the fact that I have seen like some black men creators make lives justifying like Justin Fairfax blaming Ashley Janae, when you're holding lives and even when a man is wrong, Justin Fairfax unalived his wife in front of their children. Even when a man was wrong, the fact that you still could somehow find a way to justify him, I just, at that point, I lost hope for us, because a man is out here doing the worst of the worst and you still can somehow justify it. That's what I'm saying. No, Emily, that's how I feel too. Y'all could be holding lives, holding each other accountable, telling me, hey, instead of bashing single mothers, hey, homeboy, if you go out here and impregnate that girl, you better marry her. Like, that's the lives you should be holding, but instead you want to hold lives bashing women. And to that woman who made that comment talking about some women love to have babies with men who put their hands on them, I really feel like as women, we got to stop doing that to each other. I don't think that anybody wants to be in bad situations in their life. I think we don't sometimes give women enough grace. I mean, like, I know for me, a lot of things that I learned about, like, red flags, I learned that from you, Trigger. My parents wasn't teaching me that. I'm not even gonna lie. But now that I do have the knowledge, I do make better decisions. But I feel like to be a woman and be out here telling women stuff like that in a time where Black women are being unalived every few minutes by, that's what I'm saying, Valencia. It's Man Mental Health Month. Why y'all ain't talking about that? You still, that's what I say. I think they hate women and they want to be with each other. I really fully believe that. Because why are you always holding lives bashing women? Like that guy was up here, he had a post on his page about a women's double chin. Like the fact that y'all look to critique women so hard, it really gives y'all want to be with each other.
All right. I got you, Kalandra. I have a couple things to say, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let Lawless speak. Let me start your timer, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I feel like that's strategically done, like on both sides. Like, you know what I mean? I see Black men bashing Black women, and I feel like that's a divisive tactic that they try to use to get us going at each other. Like I feel like Black people talk too much about they inner workings of what's going on, and then we got other races trying to attack us too. I think accountability. I think, like the lady said, we got to give grace. I think we've been giving too much grace to both sides. People are adults. They should know how to conduct themselves. They should know how to articulate. It's not a woman's job to teach a man how to regulate his emotions. He should know that. And I feel vice versa. If it's two adults need to come into a relationship happy and willing to deal with each other. And then the kids should come first. If y'all have kids together, and like, it takes two to make these situations happen. So I feel like men need to be accountable and women need to be accountable, and men need to hold men accountable too as well, and women need to hold women accountable too, because it seems like everybody's just trying to shift the blame to the next person.
Can
I
you
land my
please
plane right
speak?
there.
Can you speak
Okay.
on the prompt?
Hey, just okay. Oh, well, you got a minute and 30 seconds. Did you want to speak on the
Okay.
prompt?
I could speak to the I really don't feel like it's an uptick, because on another live we were talking
It
about that.
it's an
It
uptick.
seems like what the problem is disagreements and arguments in the house. Like, there was always abuse of women going on before social media, so social media didn't just change it. It's always been going on. It's more seen now, but it's always been going on. People have always had marital problems and problems going on. Like it's always been, and it's not even Black men. YT men are unaliving their women. There's something going on. There's like a gender war going on. I don't know what's going on with these people, but all this abuse stuff has always been going on.
Okay. All right. So let me say this in response to what you said. All right. A lot of things that you said were, expected, but they were problematic. First of all, there has been an uptick statistically in Black femicide. That is not a feeling. That is not a thought. It is a fact. And Black women are 3 times more likely to be unalived than white women are by white men. That's a fact. Violence against Black women has increased very sharply. It's considered a crisis since COVID time. So, and even before then, it was on the rise. So that is something that is completely true. And oftentimes when you hear Black men, they'll always say, it's both sides, it's both sides, it's both sides, it's both sides. That's not true at all. There's only one side unaliving each other and the women in the community, and that is Black men. there's only one side that is resorting to violence and unaliving in the mass majority of numbers. So I don't understand how come every time you talk to black men about this, they will always tell you that it's both sides. It is not. Statistically, this isn't my feelings. This isn't my emotions. This is a fact that it is not equal and it's not on both sides. The majority of men of all races, no matter where you are, commit the bulk majority of all violence and all violent acts and crimes, et cetera, 90% and up. So I really don't know where that comes from. But once again, I think when people talk about holding people accountable, I think it's very difficult for black men to hold each other accountable and to just simply say that something is happening without including black women. Because you can't have a femicide conversation talking about is both sides, because it is not. When black men see a group of black women, you're not afraid of them. You're not thinking that they're going to take you somewhere and unalive you and rob you and grape you and do something to you and put you in the dirt. When somebody go through your phone and you get caught cheating or doing something else, looking at girls' pictures or whatever the case may be, you're not thinking that if you decide not to be with her, that she's going to stalk you down for the next few days and she's going to unalive you, or she's going to go into your place of business with a pokey
It
and
definitely
poke you down.
happens.
Please don't interject. It doesn't happen on
It
any
does happen.
notable.
My whole
Excuse
car
me,
was
sir.
shot.
Please don't interrupt me. All right? It doesn't happen on any notable statistical level at a high rate, is what I'm telling you. And this is what I'm saying. Y'all say that y'all want people to be factual, but when they're actually factual with you, you can't handle it. We're not talking about your anecdotal experience of what somebody did to your pookie buddy. We're talking about statistically, black women aren't doing that to you on any notable statistical level, sir. It's not happening. All right. The only issue where black men losing their lives is a severe problem is black men taking the lives of other black men. And that is a fact. So once again, what I'm saying is that that's another reason why black women and black men are not able to come together and discuss these issues, because y'all won't even be honest. Y'all won't be honest. Somebody will give you the entire facts, tell you where to look for, tell you what's going on. And for some reason, y'all still will be like, no, that can't be happening. It is indeed happening. And let me just go back to the guy that was up here, Darwin. I could not have a conversation with him because I couldn't deal with the lies, the gaslighting, him trying to explain the unexplainable. Like, sir, there's no excuse for you to be with a brown-skinned woman, black woman, telling a light-skinned woman on your panel, mind you, that light-skinned women are the prize, that they're more desirable, and you don't care about colorism. In what world is it okay for you to say that you like light skin more, light skin is more desirable, and your wife isn't that? That's a very hurtful thing to say. You know what I'm saying? It's not hurtful to me because I don't care, but I'm sure that would be hurtful to his wife or his dark-skinned, brown-skinned daughter. That's nutty behavior. It's also nutty behavior to have a live and let people destroy black women every day, knowing that you laid up with a black woman every day. Mind you, a very beautiful, attractive black woman. That's crazy and nutty behavior. And you know what, Lawless? I'm going to go ahead and drop you and kick you off because you don't want to take accountability. You want to try to make it seem as if black women are not in a situation, as if this lasts over the last 45 days. I haven't heard of at least 100 crazy graphic unalivings of black women and black girls. Get out of here and go brush your teeth, you dirtbag. And I'm not talking to y'all no more about it. And let me block you. Get up out of here. For real. You look zesty anyway. I will not talk to y'all, like, for real. Because anytime I try to give y'all grace, he definitely sounded zesty. He really did. He sounded like he was on a DL. He looked like it too. And I just want people to know, I don't call people DL as an insult. I don't attack men's sexuality just because I'm trying to do it. I literally mean, he definitely looked like he was on DL. He gave very much bottom vibes. He did. He gave power bottom vibes to me. But nonetheless, all I'm saying is that we will never be able to get anywhere until black men at least acknowledge the simple truth that black women are at risk. They are. Do you know that the majority of, and I say this all the time to say, the majority of juveniles that get arrested for selling their bodies are black girls that were forced into it? Who do you think is forcing them into doing this? Who do you think is taking the money from these young girls selling their bodies? Huh? Like, I don't understand why we never address who's causing the harm to black women and black girls in the community. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I really just I don't understand it. So whether you like it or not, since y'all talk about women are emotional, statistically speaking, black women are the most at risk for sexual violence, sex trafficking, unalivings, the most at risk when they're pregnant for losing their lives at the hands of an intimate partner, etc., etc., etc. And once again, these black men that are on social media that have these horrible, disgusting, deplorable platforms where they allow other miserable, bitter, broken, bald-headed, badly built men to come up there and dog out black women because they're mad that the last time they saw a vagina was in 1998 is the reason why more people are feeling comfortable to disrespect black women. And Smitty, let me tell you something. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold on 1 second. All right? Just give me 1 second. Look at you. Look at you. I really need y'all to really get a grip. You know what I'm saying? You got jailhouse tattoos that probably, you know what? Let me not ruin this live because this was a productive live. If y'all could just block Smitty because y'all dusties, y'all bandits, y'all really get on my nerves. Y'all never look like nothing. You look like you don't got two pennies to rub together. But you over here talking about somebody be quiet. Please get out of here. Oh my goodness, go brush your teeth and go to the gym and cover up them tattoos with something with an artist that actually costs more than $1.50 and an EBT card. Like for real. Like what? Anywho, I'm about to get off of here, y'all, because this is getting to be too much. When I start getting irritated, this time for me to go. All right, it's time for me to get up out of here. I'm gonna let all of you ladies speak. Yeah, exactly, PG 1908. And hey, how you doing, sis? Snap it.
Triggered.
What was
Snapping
going on with
turtle.
his hair? What was going on with his hair? Like, was it in a
ponytail puff.
What was it in a ball
It
or
was
was
in a
it
puff
like
ball.
braided? Like,
No, nap. Well,
what was going on with his
yeah,
hair? Let me see,
Y'all, his
Gabrielle.
hairline
all
been pushed back.
strained.
Gabrielle, did you have anything to say, sis?
Yeah, this was a really great live. I'm really glad that I caught it, and I think it's great that you brought attention to this. And I just think it's unfortunate that so many males came on here and just tried to derail the conversation because it really is, an important topic and worth talking about.
I definitely agree. I have yet to see an attractive man come up here and say anything crazy. Like, these Negroes with tattoos that they had made in prison with ballpoint pens. I just don't even know what else to say. You know what I'm saying about these men? It's just ridiculous. Like, I really just don't know.
You be the
It's really,
poopies
really
and Ray
crazy.
Rays.
Go ahead, Tam Tam.
They definitely 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10 be the Pookies and Ray Rays. But I was going to say, while I was listening to you, sorry about that, I was adjusting my phone. I was actually just researching online. And I'm going to just give y'all just share with you what I just learned and found online. So UK, the UK has a website, an organization, it's femicidecensus.org. So they're actually keeping track. According to them, according to the UK, this has been going on since the 90s. Let me also go to the United Nations. United Nations also has their Office of Drugs and Crime, also has information related to femicide. So they also have been tracking, and for a while, for some time now, actually probably since the 80s. let's see, Canada also has a website, femicideInCanada.ca, the Canadian Femicide Observatory for Justice and Accountability. Canada has been tracking this since the 70s, 80s, all the way up to present time. So the National Library of Medicine, which is an official website of the United States government, is talking about how, they've been tracking this since 90s. 2009, 2017, 2022. It just goes into the progression of it. And and it just goes on and on. Some of the countries from the continent of Africa have information and websites up pertaining to it. CNN is talking about it here in the U.S. I think I saw something about it. Some Venezuela, New Zealand are also. So being that the guy, he's like the last guy you just dropped and blocked, he's like denying this when. And again, just a lack of. So he was talking about his feelings, right? He said, "I feel like," and I feel like, and it was all about his feelings. So again, a lack of intellectualism, a lack of social intelligence, a lack of social awareness, and just a lazy brain, lazy mindedness. Just, I get it, I don't get it, but they're just not going to take responsibility. It's about them. It is because of them. And it is now a stance against them. And it just hurt. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to accept it. So I just don't see them ever taking accountability for it. Not for a while, but just the lack of awareness, the lack of intelligence, the lack of honesty. It's just blatantly clear. And the continuous talking about their feelings. Nobody care about y'all feelings. Your trigger came up here and she's talking about statistics, facts, what is actually happening, the truth. And they're just disregarding it and ignoring it and acting like it's not real when it is. And I'll land there.
All right. I got you. I appreciate you, Tam. Let me keep going. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I forgot. I don't want to forget this real quick. Just like with Darwin, okay, the guy that was up here, I just want to say once again that holding alive, right, where you say, I think women rate themselves too highly, and then you let women come up there, and all the men do is degrade the women and talk about how ugly they are. Exactly what is that helping? A woman says, hey, I think I'm a 10. Oh, why do you think that? You want to re-rate yourself now that all of these men said that you're a 2 and you're a 3 and you're ugly? Like, they literally told a lady that, I'm gonna rate her a 3, but I'd like to see her without her makeup on. And then Darwin goes, yeah, because when they take their makeup off, their beauty usually goes down. So I think we know what she'll be after that. What exactly is that helping anybody? Like, can she change what she look like? If you think the lady is ugly, you think that she's ugly. Why do you want to tell her that? I wish that some of y'all would go sit there and have a live stream and pull your pants down so everybody can tell you and rate your junk and make you feel bad about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly what is that helping? You have way more things to talk about in society than talking about the way somebody's face looks. That when you don't even like them and you're not going to meet them or see them anyway because this is online and most people are separated and don't even live in the same spot. So it's like, exactly what are you getting out of doing this? And like I said before, all of the men that were up there, none of them were attractive. None of them were men that you would look, and I never see none that are up there that look like that. So it's like, what is the purpose in doing these things? Anyway, it's just nuts. And once again, I don't want nobody to think that I don't judge the black women that come up there, because I do. Because if you're a black woman and you're not in high school no more, and you come up on a panel to get rated by Dusty's, sister, you need to book an appointment with a therapist immediately, because your self-esteem is in the trash can. Because why in the world would you ever need to be validated by men that you wouldn't want to touch with somebody else's pussy? What? I don't understand it. Like I said before in another live, you act like it's a panel full of Morris chestnuts up there. It's not. And even if it was, that still wouldn't be cool. But my God, you're getting rated by degenerate Dusties that don't have that. No, the degenerate, dusty, dingy. But never mind. Let me just keep going. Go ahead. Valencia.
Hey, first, Tam, I wrote down all those websites that you mentioned. Thank you.
You're welcome, love.
The thing that I've noticed since being around these spaces is that they have a serious imposter syndrome issue. Everything that they claim us to be, emotional, not logical, all of these things, insecure, all of these things is what they exhibit themselves. And we see this more and more every day. It's quite fascinating the amount of projection that they do. And I'm just, sometimes I just sit and I listen, and it's like it's really insane to me. But what they like to do is they like to try to triangulate us against each other. That's why they have their own, the pick-me's over there, whatever, like they like to call themselves. And then they even have them coming at women. What we need is more spaces like this. I thank God for you, host, that you have created this type of space, because the more that we align with each other, the more that we educate each other, the more that we come in agreement with each other and don't let them, penetrate us, ourselves, and our peace, the better off we are going to be. That is what they don't want to happen. They want us to be consumed by their chaos. They want us to be consumed by what they got going on, because all of these arguing panels that everybody going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that is going to affect you mentally at some point. Even just listening to it constantly, it is going to affect you mentally at some point. So another thing, like you said, I had been in a couple of Darwin's rooms a couple times. He does play this roundabout game. Sometimes he tries to act like he cool, he like the women or whatever, but then, like you say, he allows these harmful men up there and doesn't say anything. And then he might have one man that seem like he got some sense, right? But then it's they all are very lukewarm, wishy-washy, just in it for the money. But like you said, nothing goes unpunished. Every seed that you sow, you will reap what you sow. We serve a merciful God, but I'm gonna tell you something. He does not play about his daughters. He does not. So y'all.
All right.
Again, I'm very grateful that I met y'all on this panel. I literally just created my own type of space, and I'm gonna be working on trying to do the same thing that you're doing. Just specifically for us, talking about us, getting ourselves recentered to who we are as women, outside of their opinions, outside of what they think, because we don't need their opinions. Thank you.
All right. I got you. Valencia, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you said. I mean, I definitely think that Darwin is a, what's the word I'm looking for? He throws rocks and hides his hands. And those are the most, insidious, sneaky, low down, slithering snakes that are to exist. People that do that. Cause that is exactly what he do. I've watched, after I saw the first live, I watched several lives. I watched several of his videos. That is exactly what he is. He literally made a video talking about how women should listen to men and respect their emotions, because basically a man might do something to you, but then he talks about women accepting all type of BS and mistreatment from men though. What? Anywho, he's just a fool. But like I said,
one more thing I want to say
just a
about him.
second. I just want to say I can never respect nobody, like I said, that don't got no hair on their head. There's a reason why God smited them and their hair fell out. Like, and this doesn't apply to women. This only applies to men. There's a reason why he can't use a comb. And I stand by that. Go ahead, Valencia.
One more
And
thing
then
I wanted
I'll
to
give you one more minute because I gotta wrap it up, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's gonna be quick. One more thing I wanted to say. The thing that killed me, unalived me, was when he acted like he didn't know what femicide was. When I know for a fact that man does, because there is this one lady that he actually has as a mod, and God bless her soul, because I don't know how she be over there. But she be clocking it. She has said that so many times and explained it so many times. The fact that he came up in here and he acted like he didn't know what it was, I said, Oh, you're the you the serpent, baby. He, just like that lady earlier. Them two, I feel the same spirit off of. And it's a spirit that's going around in these men. I promise you it's a spirit. That's why they all sound the same. That's why they all get angry the same way. It is a spirit. And ladies, we have to protect ourselves. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for the extra minute. I'm a hush now. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, sis. And like I said, I just think it's wild for you to tell a light-skinned woman that she is essentially a prize, because that's essentially what he said. And I have it screen recorded if anybody wants to hear it, because I don't want nobody calling me a liar. I screen recorded it. You to tell a light-skinned woman essentially that she's the prize because of her complexion, while you have a brown-skinned and dark-skinned daughter. Nuts. Nutty behavior. Because what if your daughter sees this? What are you talking about? So this man not even loyal to his own family. But let me keep going. Go ahead, Miss Carmel.
Yeah, Trey, this definitely was one heck of a live. It's a lot that can be said, but I'm gonna try to just keep it short because I know you ready to go. I need to get up in this house too. I haven't even really walked up in my house yet since I've been home, child. But yeah, because it's, talking about, the topic of BOK, femicide, and all of this is, I'm always, very passionate. And you already know that's like one of my one of the biggest things that I resonate with your live and why I just love your space. And, on top of it, just being centered around like, the protection of BOK women and, even protecting each other from the ops, from the pick-me's, from the ones who are just the agents of chaos and all of that stuff. For me, I definitely feel like it's a spirit, but it's a spirit, I would say, but I will also say it's just, for me, it's just like pattern recognition for real. Once you catch on and you open your eyes, you can see it from a mile away. You can tell a pick-me, you can tell the talking points, you can tell the ideologies, that people are coming up in this space with, the degenerate talking points, and they try to hide it, they try to mask it, but the lack of education is never going to allow them to get far. The men, girl, like I said, it's a lot. I get jumbled up because my ADHD sometimes it'd be like, oh, it's so much that I can say right now, but Trig, definitely love your page. Keep going. I definitely have been thinking about like starting my own lives and pretty much doing the same thing, advocating for other BOK women and girls. And, it's crazy how these men come in here and act like they don't even acknowledge what we're saying. They just jump straight to bashing. It reminds me of a person that has done some grimy, slimy stuff to you, and when you call them out on their behavior, they act like you're bashing them, or all you're doing is just telling them the truth about their behaviors. It's very sick. It's very demonic. And I'm not even like religious, but I am spiritual. It is very demonic behavior. I mean, it's just downright evil. Very narcissistic, very psychopathic, sociopathic behavior. So I definitely feel like a lot of us need to have these spaces, and a lot of us need to bring awareness and just keep pushing it out there, keep getting it out there, keep getting them angry, and disturbing their spirit, right? A lot of us need to be waking up to what's going on in the nature of these men and the psychopathy of these men. But yeah, girl, thank you. Love you, ladies.
No problem. Love you too, sis. And I just want to say, I do think that all of you ladies that said that y'all starting y'all pages and y'all starting the spaces, I think you all should do it. I think that is great and it's fantastic. The more of us that speak out, the more of us that hold spaces for each of us to talk and to say our experiences and to expose what's going on, the better. And I think all of you ladies are intelligent and y'all know what y'all doing. And I think that it will be great. The more the better, the more the merrier. I respect all of you ladies and I will be supporting all of y'all. All right, let me go next up here to Miss Calandra. Go ahead, Miss Calandra.
I definitely am working on an anthology series. I'm trying to get it pitched about Black femicide. I feel like it's a serious problem in America. And I don't like when that guy, when he made that comment saying that white men unalive those women, that bothers me anytime black men use that to try to change it, because what people don't understand is when we're talking about femicide is a global issue, but black women are being unalived more than any other race of women by black men, like by men. That is happening. And I feel like because we are black women and because we're sometimes at the bottom of the totem pole in society due to how society treats us, it's not being awareness. I'm seeing every day on my Instagram page a case about a young woman who has lost her life at the hands of a black man. And that stuff like that just really bothers me. But it also bothered me when he got up there and said accountability, because I'm really getting sick and tired of y'all folks thinking that you cannot hold people accountable from the internet. Yelling at these people on lives, talking negative about them. I don't understand how y'all think that's accountability. I mean, I don't understand how people think they can hold people accountable from the internet. Anytime I start hearing men say that, I start tuning them out, because at that point, how you gonna hold somebody accountable by yelling at them on the live? Like, that's not how accountability works. Trigger, your lives are amazing. We definitely need to bring more attention to black femicide, because this is a serious problem. You know what I'm saying? For me, I've decided to buy me a pew pew, because I feel like either they gonna put you on the shirt or you gotta put them on the shirt. I feel like the emotional regulation is not really happening. They're not really getting any better. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I feel like if you're a woman and you go on lives like that, for me, when I see certain lives, I hit not interested, report, and block and scroll past, because for me, my head just be hurt real bad. And I've had, like, for me, Trigger, you kind of gave me this advice. I'm scheduling me a class about learning about a pew pew, because I feel like either they gonna, and then the fact that these random attacks are happening is really scaring me personally, and that's why I said I'm really about to get myself one, because I've had several incidents that happened to me recently where, like, I just had an incident. I went out and got me something to eat, and this guy came up to me and he scared me. I got back in my car and I drove off, because after hearing about that woman on the train, that older woman who was poked unalived on the train, and the fact that nobody helped her, I feel like at this point, black women, we gotta get us a pew pew, because either they gonna get you or you gonna have to get them.
All right, I got you, Kalandra. I mean, I definitely agree about arming yourself. I said it already, I'll say it one more time. If you are in a state to where you can arm yourself as a black woman, you absolutely should. If you can't do that, then get the spray or get the pokey or whatever you can do. But just realize that as a black woman, unfortunately, your life is not valued and nobody is coming to save you and help you. So the best person to save you is you, and you need to protect yourself and be your first line of defense. I know when I first started learning about pew pews and stuff, my instructor said that you have to understand that he was a ex-police officer. He said your first line of defense is you. But before the police get there, before anybody happens, it's you. So you should make sure, in the best case scenario, that you can protect yourself. So if you can, you should go ahead and do what you got to do, and make sure that you always keep it on you as well. Like, for real. And I really mean that, because I always keep it on me. Always. Do you hear me? Always. I hope somebody do try it, because it'll be the last time they try it. So just make sure that you do that. And that is very, very something that's very important. But once again, if you're in a place that you can't have a pew pew, then there's other avenues you can have to protect yourself as well. All right, let me keep going. Next up here, hey, Miss Brown Sugar. Go ahead, Miss Brown Sugar.
Hey Trig, I did want to apologize for cussing in the comments. I know that you say that you don't like cussing in the comments, so I just want to say I apologize for that. I really do think that that young lady definitely triggered me. I don't like, when we're holding a space regarding talking about femicide, which is a strong topic for me and I'm incredibly passionate about. I don't like the bashing of other black women. I'm extremely against that, because you never know what another black woman has been through. And my motto is always protecting the kids, always doing the best that you can to protect these little ones who are out here, because they didn't ask to be here. They are extremely innocent, and they don't deserve to be in whatever mess that you created. They deserve to be protected. They deserve to be nurtured, and they deserve forethought. And I just thought it was incredibly irresponsible. I see ladies all the time, oh, just leave them with the kids. And then, something happens to the children. I mean, if you're fortunate to do that, bless you. But if you're unfortunate and that's your circumstance, I think that I'm against it, period. I believe in protecting kids and putting kids first if you have them. Um, I feel strongly about this topic, and I really love and appreciate all the women here. I feel like, it's my second time kind of getting into it, and I don't want to seem like I'm problematic or anything, but I really do love Black women. I enjoy uplifting them. Everything that I do, I try to infiltrate something about Black women. Even when I go out my day, I'm always complimenting Black women, letting them know that they're beautiful, and precious. And I'm not gonna lie, I was triggered by that, and I just feel like I was kind of going through a little bit too much today. Don't come in here. Don't come in here right now. Hold on. Okay. Go somewhere else. Sorry. And I was definitely triggered because I actually heard from my abusive. Go somewhere else. Why I gotta go somewhere? This is my room. All right. Sorry about that, y'all.
You good?
I actually heard from my abusive BD today, so I was definitely triggered by that. It had nothing to do with the lady, but it was just something that I was going through, and I just don't like when other women don't give each other grace in certain situations, and I hate when they come in this space, especially when it's for uplifting, loving on Black women, and they cosplay like they are for Black women when they're not. And it really disturbs me. So I think that I do get angry and I do want to cuss them out, even though that's probably not the best option. God is still working on me. I'm working on myself. But I just don't like it. I don't play when it comes to Black women at all. So
I
yeah,
agree.
I just want to apologize. Thank you.
You
Okay, so let me say this, Brown Sugar. That's no problem, sis. Like, I actually think that conflict is not a problem. Like, I think I've told everybody that I am a very confrontational person. Well, let me not say that I'm a very confrontational person. Let me just say I don't mind confrontation. I will engage in confrontation if I want to. And because my environment, the way I grew up, it was filled with nothing but confrontation and chaos and things like that. So that's normally like my default setting to be comfortable in that type of thing. So I want y'all to know, I'm really not trying to silence y'all. It's not about that. It's just the only reason why I say about the cussing is just because I don't want to get the live shut down or whatever. But if y'all say things to each other in the chat, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. The only thing I didn't want us to do was to like call each other the B words and stuff like that and attack each other personally, like looks and things like that, or like people's kids or family life. Cause I know that when things like that get said, people really get upset and then it becomes another type of situation. But I know that we won't always get along. And I think that it's good when not that it's good, but I think that when we don't get along and we can show that as Black women, we can have conflict and discuss the conflict and then move forward. I think that it's good to see, because some people think that just because you have conflict with somebody, just because you don't like what they said, just like even if you have a go back and forth with them, or you didn't like what they said, that all of a sudden that means that it's got to be, oh, I hate you forever, oh, I don't want to talk to you
Right.
forever. You can have these things and have these conversations and stuff and still keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Allies.
want y'all to know that I'm definitely not, I don't want to silence y'all at all. But I
Thank
do
you.
have a problem with Black women that call other Black women men or masculine or sir, things like that, because I really feel like those are normally like male-centered women or pick-me's or mammies or things like that. Because first of all, the whole idea of calling Black women men and stuff like that, it comes from white men, because white men were the first ones to call Black women, like make it like we were males and stuff like that, so they could rationalize what they were doing to us and the inhumane treatment they were giving to Black women, because they knew that they weren't supposed to be treating women like that. So then eventually, of course, as normally the collective of Black men does, they fall right behind the white man in his footsteps, and then they start using that same term, calling Black women men, masculine males, sir, all of that, to degrade and dehumanize us as well. So I just am very off-put when Black women do it, because do you not know the history of where that comes from? And then, like I said, if you want to call Black women men, you want to talk about you looked at their pictures and all of that. When I click on your picture, you better look like doggone Naomi Campbell was in the doggone 90s. I better see that up there. And if I don't, I'm probably won't say nothing publicly because I don't like talking about black women in that way. But it's just had me in my mind like, what world are you living in? You're not in a position to be talking about nobody else and what they look like. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know me, I will drag men every day, all day, in any way possible. Looks and nothing is off topic for men, but I do give black women a different grace than I give anybody else. So I just don't want us to do that to each other because we have enough of that going on with the world putting it on us than us to put it on each other. But I don't think there's anything wrong with what you said or you did, Brown Sugar, if you were upset by what she said, because like I said, I realized the comment was shady too. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, Brown Sugar, how dare you tell her to shut the fuck up? Because the comment was shady. It was, and
Especially she
it
don't know
was.
you. Yeah, she don't know
I mean,
you.
and
Really
I
kind of
agree with what
gave
Tam Tam
red
said.
pill. It really gives red pill when they like to try to say black women like to have babies with pookies and rays. They like to do this. They like to do that. It gave red pill to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna give you grace.
Because
Thank
it's
you,
like,
Trigger.
oh, no problem, Tam Tam. And it's just like, because honestly and truly, what black woman that doesn't have children, grows up and says, you know what? Yes, I just want to have a baby by an abusive man. Nobody's saying that. And
Exactly.
once again, we all make mistakes. Just because you don't have any kids or you don't have a kid by a man that's a certain type of man, what other mistakes have you made that we can judge, that we can say, oh, well, we wouldn't have did that? That you did that we wouldn't have did. So it's just like, I don't like all of that superior talk because I've been very transparent with you guys that I don't think that I'm better than nobody else. I done made mistakes. I done did stupid stuff. I done had my first husband play in my face and a lot of other things. So it's just like, I don't think that we should be judging each other like that. It's just not cool. And I just don't want that particular thing to go on because this is the point. The point of my lives and stuff and my YouTube and all of that is for black women to move forward and be better and be the great black woman that I know that each and every single solitary one of us can be. Yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you did this. Yes, you did that, whatever. But what are you doing tomorrow? We can all do better as long as God gives us breath in our bodies to breathe. We can move and be better the next day. And that's the whole purpose of this, not just sitting there and having all of us wallow in the mistakes that we have made previously, things that we cannot change. Who the heck wants to do that? But we can all be better. We can all be greater. We can all be great because we are black women. We are the freaking blueprint and we are the bomb.com and we got everything going on. And all you have to do is realize your power and unlock it in yourself and you can create the reality that you want for yourself.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that for every single solitary one of us. So I'm gonna wrap this live up, y'all. I just want to say I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love all black women, even to the lady that we had this situation with. If you hearing this, if you listen to this, you know what? Just think about what we said, and try not to do that again and come back around. I'm not saying that anybody is not welcome here or whatever, because like I said before, nobody's perfect. We're all going to make mistakes. Some of us have certain type of male-centered ideologies that we have to unpack and think about why we're saying what we're saying. So I just wanted to say that moving forward, but I do love you guys and I hope you have a great weekend, or what is this? This is the beginning of the week, doggone it.
Weekend.
Great week.
Monday.
Yeah, I'm over here talking about a weekend. The week just started, Lord.
They done irritated you to the weekend. You ready?
I'm
You
trying to
too,
jump
love.
to Lord.
You too. Thank y'all so
Please.
much respect and love and honor for y'all. Thank you.
Thank
All
y'all
right,
so
all right.
much.
All right, well, I got y'all. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all later, okay? And thanks so much for all of you guys coming. It was so productive, and I love talking to y'all, all right? I'll see y'all. Oh, shoot. And also, all of the ladies in the chat, I want to acknowledge y'all too. All of you ladies in the chat, y'all keep me cracking up. Y'all are so intelligent. Y'all are so on point as well. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the ladies in the chat too. I respect all of the ladies in the chat and all of the ladies that come in the box. I love all of y'all. I see y'all. I hear y'all. And I do pay attention. So I just want y'all to